Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the Rogue Valley Roleplayers as we get ready to play out the season finale of Valley of Famine, a Deadlands actual play brought to you by Savage Worlds, made by Pinnacle and Shane Hensley, who also made Deadlands. So thank you guys for this excellent game system, and looking forward to updating to the newest edition, the Adventure Edition. My name's Ben. I'm here with Rosemary, Austin, Trisha, Ed, and Nick S. And yeah, let's get started. As always, I am the Marshal. I'm running this shindig.
I'm Rosemary, playing Deputy Rachel Jane Kennedy.
Austin, playing Macario.
I'm Trisha, and I'm playing Chen Mei.
I'm Ed. I'm playing Railin Daisy, the mad scientist.
I'm Nick S, and I'm playing Haru Matsuhara. And I'm buzzing.
And before we get super started, I just want to say thank you guys for this great game, this great campaign. Your characters and what you've put into it have all made this just a lot of fun. The energy you put into it, I really appreciate it. So, thank you.
Don't tell our characters.
No promises there.
If our characters die, we die in real life.
Uh-oh.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's gotten a little extreme.
I hope
mean,
not.
Nick's still here, so...
Or am I?
Oh, oh no.
You've got two ghosts now.
No! So, I think we're going to pick up... When last we left off, Haru walked in on a lot of you while you were having his eulogy in Sheriff Ross's office.
That was great.
And yeah, y'all hugged it out, except for Sheriff Ross was like, nope, I'm not going to participate in that.
Mm-hmm. And first and last hug
How
you
many
will all
people
get
did
from
we
Haru.
tell that
is-
Haru died to?
Told Lan Hui.
Yeah.
Lon Hui knows that we think he's dead.
Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking
Yeah,
that's
it's
probably about it. You turned.
Yeah, I haven't seen Jonathan.
You wrapped up the body, so no, people didn't see it and go, "Oh, hey, that's Haru Matsuhara's corpse hanging off that horse." That rhymed vaguely.
What did?
Horse.
Yeah,
Horse is a horse of corpse. Of corpse.
Anyone we can talk to, of course.
The Undertaker knows. Edgar Pittman turned Haru's body over to.
He didn't seem that worried, though.
Which, if anyone's curious, if you've watched the IT crowd, I'm channeling Richmond for Edgar Pittman.
Nice.
I didn't watch one of that, actually.
I did not watch that show.
It's great.
It's a good show. You should watch it.
No, if you're not watching it.
I watched the first 5 minutes of the first episode with Travis at work.
It's fabulous.
One of the best shows ever.
Yes. Yeah, actually, yes. I think we'll pick up. Haru, you are making your way back to your room at the Jacksonville Inn. You're walking in the door, and a couple of people give you weird looks like, hold on a second, I haven't seen that guy in a couple of days. But no one says anything, no one stops you.
I kind of, I'm going to be pretty much ignoring people and going to my room. I'm going to be finding anything I can use to wrap all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
So does Haru understand that, like, people think he's dead?
Like we were just saying, I don't think it's really super common knowledge at this point.
Okay.
We've probably explained to him that we told Lon Hui, so he probably knows that.
told
Yeah.
a bunch of people, though.
Yeah.
She went down.
Yeah. Got a marching band. Haru's dead.
Like New Orleans style.
Yeah. Throwing beads.
Make a picture now. Some guy with the trumpet sees Haru.
They do parades to the cemetery with like jazz bands.
Yeah, they do.
This is more of a celebration that I'm no longer around because Long Hui didn't like me very much. It's okay, I didn't like her very much either.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, you open the door, and Lan Hui is in your room,
Oh boy.
going through your stuff. Just kind of, I said to be left alone.
I have had a very long day.
Kind of drops whatever she was going through. What do you have that she'd be going through?
Box of I'd have paper and quills and stuff like that for writing. I'd have ooh, that's a rough question. Probably like an ornate box from home that I would keep just stuff like minor trinkets or things I thought were interesting in. Probably a folding lantern that I brought from home that I use at night.
Okay. So yeah, she's going through some of that stuff and kind of drops what she's holding back with the box, turns around, this quick look, kind of goes pale for a second, just like this really, really fast, and then kind of masters her emotions and gets this real calm, stoic face. Ah. I see that you are well.
The news of my demise was greatly exaggerated.
Before she just said,
No, I was already thinking of saying it, so...
Why do you not?
It was one of those opportune times. Yeah. As you can see, I am in adequate health.
Well, I apologize for invading your privacy. I thought you were dead, so I was seeing what I needed to send back to your homeland.
No, I am okay.
I'm sure you're looking a little pale.
My heart is still mending. I exerted myself too much.
Yes. I did tell you to get rest, as the doctor ordered.
And I was feeling restless sitting in room.
You meant to say tomb.
Next time you are feeling restless, come see me and I will give you some light work to keep you occupied.
I will keep that in mind for future.
Where have you been? You smell awful.
I was assisting the Undertaker with some less than clean work.
Odd. Doesn't your caste believe in not touching the dead?
I wasn't touching, merely observing. Just being around the dead leaves a tainted smell.
Well, then I will leave you to your privacy, and I suggest a bath.
I will take a bath when I can.
What region did you say you came from? I remember in a previous episode you mentioned that Haru came from a fishing village.
A fishing village in the southeastern areas of Japan, just south of Edo, which would be Tokyo at this point now.
Okay. Did you have anything in your possessions that would have indicated that?
Yeah, probably my family symbol on the lantern would have an indication of that. Would have a kanji or something representing the village.
You never told me you came from a fishing village.
Do not speak of my village much. I left young and went to Tokyo to work in the restoration.
I grew up in a fishing village in Vietnam. But as perhaps a story to save for another time when you were better rested.
I will be getting plenty of rest.
Uh-huh. That's what you like to tell yourself, huh? That made Lazarus black.
I know. Haru turns his head away from
for a second.
Damn it.
Away from Lan Hui, but doesn't say anything. More just kind of thinks to himself. More of just a thought of, I don't need to be telling her too much.
Sure. And then Lan Hui says, well, if you will let me pass, I will leave you be. Again, my apologies. I would not have gone through your personal possessions if I had thought you were still alive. She doesn't say that with a southern drawl, though.
I understand. With the condition I was in, and people not finding me, they must have assumed. It is unwise for people to assume without first checking first.
I see that you got your weapons back from your friends.
I found them and was glad to see that they were taken care of.
That is good to know. It seemed, from the impression I got when your friends reported your alleged death, that they had not hesitated long before looting and stripping your corpse.
I asked them if I were to be missing and they were to find them, to keep them safe for me.
Very well. Rest well.
I intend to.
And she leaves.
How much gold did you get from looting his corpse?
That time we looted Haru, like when we respectfully folded him up on the horse and carried
Wrapped
him
his
for
body
miles.
so people wouldn't stare at
So,
him.
so there's what happened, and there's
Yeah.
Lan Hui's take on it.
Oh, okay.
She's a bitch.
Is she? I couldn't tell.
I hadn't gathered that.
No, that's
been a
really
bitch to me. So
really the right term. She's
I hate when people say that. I hate when people say that.
she's a cold person.
oh
No, I'm a
like
cold
Haru
person.
in the sheriff.
You're a cold,
Not
warm
nuts.
person now.
Cold warm.
You're not a person anymore. You're a corpse.
She's not.
Yeah, you're a cold, warm corpse.
At least as far as you know, she's not cold in the sense that she's a walking, talking corpse. Like at least two members of the Rogue Valley.
Boy, the Undertaker made it seem like this happens on a regular basis.
Oh no, not again.
Here goes another one. I'm going to have to explain the cow in the grave if anybody digs it up later.
Fast forward 100 years, modern CSI show, dig up the grave. It's a cow in here.
One of these records from the Undertaker. Well, the dead kept on getting back up before I could bury them, and, well, they asked me not to tell their loved ones, so, alas, I had to make do with livestock.
I love that's the same Undertaker 100 years later.
Yeah, so it's notes.
Oh.
They're reading it, the
In
voice.
the voice of the
yeah.
Undertaker.
we've already established his character, but I feel like I would like an Undertaker where every time he realizes he can't bury a body, he makes a little bonsai garden. You know, like he just uses an excuse to do his hobby.
He's got a new tree every time.
He's just got like a little garden.
Well, can't bury that one, so I guess I'll go work on my model trains for a bit. How very relaxing. If only I could actually practice the profession I trained in, but oh well. I'll save that coffin for the next one. It was only custom fit. Had to get up and walk away anyway. Greats. Anyway, enough of that sidetrack. So,
Train track.
we're gonna flash forward. Well, actually, we'll go to the next day after this happens. So, Rachel, you're showing up to work.
I wanted to go by the doctor at some point because I do have a wound.
Okay, yeah, you can do
So
that.
I wanted to get that healed.
Well, you'll do a natural healing roll.
Oh.
We'll get to that. But
Oh.
yeah, you're seeing the doctor. I think it's like
Yeah, I wasn't sure how much it cost.
it's somewhere in not that book, but in this one, I think it's like $5.
Yeah.
Bottle of booze, go to the doctor.
Bottle of booze, go to the doctor. So the next day, you're coming into work and you hear voices inside Sheriff Ross's office.
Plural.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go on in.
Mm-hmm.
I work there too, so.
Well, fucking work here too.
Yeah.
Just screw yourselves. You walk in and you see Ross is sitting at his desk, per usual. But there's another man sitting across from him. They're both sharing some whiskey. The other man, he's a young man, probably in his mid-20s, early 30s. Good-looking guy, dressed all in black, though.
Do I recognize him?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
I would recognize him, but I'm not there.
You're not there? No, you don't recognize him.
Oh.
He kind of looks up and... Good day, ma'am.
Morning.
And Ross says, Deputy, this here is, your feller says he is Federal Marshal Malcolm Locke.
I'll hold my hand to offer shake. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure's mine, ma'am. Sure, if you didn't mention your deputy's name.
Rachel Kennedy.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Deputy Kennedy. I'm newly appointed and assigned to this region. Just making my rounds, letting folks know that there's a new federal marshal in charge of the territory. And also looking into a few issues, one of which is a disappearance that was mentioned around these parts.
Oh, you'll be wanting to talk to Railin Daisy. Her father went missing.
Gilmore?
Yeah,
All right. You wouldn't happen to know where I can find her, would you?
I actually do. I'm a friend of Daisy's.
Oh, excellent.
No idea of where she might be at. I never really know where she
What time is
is.
This morning. Like
She's actually asking Ross that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ross is like... Pulls out his pocket watch. Taps it.
Dead.
Taps it again.
Dead as a doornail.
Shoots you a glare. Just, don't rightly know. It seems I forgot to wind my watch.
If it's before noon, Daisy's likely to still be in bed.
Well, maybe you can let her know next time you see her that a U.S. federal marshal is here to help look for her father who's been abducted.
I will.
And I got a couple questions for her. In the meantime, perhaps you'd like to show me around town. Let me know what sort of issues you got going on. I had a talk with your boss, but I'd like to get your perspective as well.
That sounds fine.
Good.
Be nice to have some more law and order out here.
Certainly hoping to bring it. It's big territory, you know. I'm only one man, but not quite like the them Confederate Rangers say, one man, one riot. We try to work as a team best we can.
Meta gave me here. Is it like he's like a fresh-faced green?
He looks like
okay.
he should be pretty fresh-faced and green.
Okay.
Usually you gotta be pretty grizzled. Well, I don't know, actually, that for a fact, what it takes to become appointed a U.S. Federal Marshal. It probably didn't take
Not
that much
yeah.
back then, so, I mean, it's probably not that unusual,
Oh,
in
he
fact.
wasn't white or like
My daddy had privilege and he gave it to me.
You know, I don't know.
A U.S. Marshal.
Okay. I'm just curious, like,
There's
does
probably
he...
a lot of just like, my daddy had privilege and then he gave it to me. Now
Yeah,
I'm a U.S.
I'm curious.
Marshal.
Like, I'm looking at him, like,
So-
kind of sizing him up. Like, does it look like, oh, like he's actually capable of doing this job, or is it like he's gonna shit his pants at the first sign of like a, you know, like?
He looks young, but he's definitely got an air of confidence with
Oh,
him.
okay.
He's also like he's standing there and he's got this like silver dollar that he's kind of playing with. He's rolling it on his across his palm
He's
and
not-
flipping it back and forth. And it's just kind of like almost like I guess nowadays we would call it a fidget spinner, but
The Wild West.
Wild West fidget spinner.
Actually, nowadays you call it a cell phone. It's a no pay attentioner. Whatever you want to call that.
It's still a fidget.
Yeah.
Or tangible.
Because you can
or
fidget and pay
whatever.
attention, but then a phone is something that will take away your attention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'll probably do
Nick.
fidget.
I'm looking up how U.S. people became U.S. Marshals.
I think it was like a
Federal courts appointed U.S. Marshals
Yeah.
as a government police force. It was the same as appointing a sheriff.
Okay.
Cool.
But could you be like deputized by another marshal?
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
be deputized by a U.S.
Okay.
Marshal, but you could never become a full U.S. Marshal until you were appointed by the
Yeah.
U.S. Federal Court.
Okay. Because I feel like there were probably a lot of deputy marshals who were just like, oh shit, we need another good guy with a gun. So
Yeah.
No, you're
Or,
good.
or just another guy with a gun.
yeah.
They hired plenty of outlaws to hunt other outlaws.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they did in Tombstone, in the movie at least.
It's
They're like, oh, I'm
way
gonna like,
dramatized.
I know. They're like, all right, now you're all
It's all
deputies, and we're gonna go
Yeah.
hunt these guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're just like, what's the difference between a pirate and a ship of the crown? Like 500 gold doubloons, basically.
A pirate and a privateer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a privateer, that's a better one.
A flag.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's a letter of marque to attack the right people.
Yeah.
You have a letter of marque and attack the wrong people, you're still a pirate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just wanted to size them up to get a feel like, is this someone we're actually going to have to babysit, or is it like he's actually going to help us?
No, he's got this air of confidence, a lot of charisma going.
Nice. Yeah, well, if you're ready now, we can take a walk about Jacksonville.
Certainly.
Show you.
Don't suppose Miss Gilmore lives in Jacksonville?
I believe she lives in Medford.
Medford. Okay. Well, let's have a walk about Jacksonville here. Get a lay of the land. Tell me about what troublemakers you got here. Maybe there's someone I got a warrant for.
That's supposed to got a warrant for Jonathan Graves, do ya?
Graves? No, I don't know that name.
Rats. One of these days.
Well, at least outside of your sheriff mentioned him. Said he was a local troublemaker that y'all. He doesn't say y'all. Never mind.
Mine owner.
Take that back. He's a local troublemaker that folks can't seem to pin a crime to. Maybe I can help change that. Though I
Yeah.
understand he's gone allegedly the legitimate route.
Yeah, I ran into him the other day and told me he found a claim.
Yeah.
Mine in Gilstrock.
Well, maybe he'll be too busy now to make trouble. That's equally as good.
Surely hope so.
Comes for someone else to make trouble.
You have much trouble with the Iron Dragon here?
No.
I'm assuming you guys have walked out. Like
Oh.
you're not just standing there having this conversation. Ross is going, "Oh fuck, guys."
Scout's like, trotting along at her side.
Haru would be on the porch of the Jacksonville Inn early morning
Okay.
because of, reasons. Having a
Now-
bed to himself.
Yeah. And also at this point, you probably know, just because people have been, going, what's that smell whenever you pass by? So you smell dead. And the only way to change that is to pickle yourself with alcohol.
Or he could also use perfume.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Well, I was thinking about, because he already smokes a lot, could smoking heavily with tobacco smoke cover it? Or
It will help. But, I mean, we just had cigars, and it doesn't seem to be bothering anyone in here.
Okay.
So, it doesn't leave quite as strong.
Perfume
smell.
would be more acceptable for...
Or you can just tell everyone that you found patchouli oil and they'll just be like,
Oh, no, not another hippie.
It is more setting
What was the
appropriate.
marshal's name?
Yeah.
Ben?
Malcolm Locke. Locke.
So I guess he'd actually probably also be heading to the general store to find, cologne.
Okay.
Drinking heavily would be weird for him. Not, heavily drinking would be weird.
Right. Well, your friendly neighborhood Manitou also informs you, if yeah, you can just go ahead and hit the bottle. Ain't like you can benefit from it no more.
well, he could also just splash himself with alcohol.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to
Do that
drink
too. Perhaps your reputation is important to you. You don't want to have folk thinking you're a drunk, but it's a cheap, quick way to make sure no one smells the reek.
it. What would happen if he drank formaldehyde?
If he drank formaldehyde,
Well, it counts as a poison, and I'm immune to that, so...
yeah, so nothing really.
I'd smell like formaldehyde,
Mhm.
which would, again, kind of smell like a corpse.
But would it slow down the decay of his body enough to help with the smell?
It doesn't decay, does it?
That's the thing,
The fiction is not consistent.
Okay.
And there are harrowed edges you can take that help you blend as alive. I think as far as in the long term, if we somehow took this campaign from now to Hell on Earth, you'd probably look very much like a zombie, a corpse. But you're probably not decaying at the same rate that
A corpse would.
a corpse would.
Okay.
You could also just walk around with a nosegay with sprigs of rosemary tied around your neck, and
So,
Yeah.
however you want to go about it, basically, if you don't disguise your smell, folk are going to catch on that somebody ain't right with that guy.
That's why I'm thinking just cologne.
Cologne. Okay.
people might be giving you money to go buy a bath. Yeah.
And then you could use that money to buy cologne instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you could sell the leftover on the underground cologne market.
Uh-oh. What's going on here?
Right out of the
We're
Undertaker's.
starting a clone racket.
All right. It's not where I thought this campaign was going, but
Well,
okay.
there it is. We're now
Well,
clone dealers.
The Undertaker can't sell coffins anymore, so maybe
He has to eat dead. He's not dead.
he needs a side hustle.
Everybody keeps coming back from the dead. I can't bury anyone.
He needs a side hustle because you took away his regular hustle.
What had that happen at the game one time? Undertaker buried a bunch of people, and they all came back from the dead. And he's just threw his shovel down, put his hat down, and goes, "I'm going to go into gardening."
At least the plants don't come back to life. Oh, damn it. Alright, you there, dead people, go deal with the man-eating plant over there, please.
Why
Yes?
is my potato screaming?
having a salad.
tomatoes.
Man eats plant all the time.
Plants have feelings too, right?
Oh, I know. I've heard the tool cries of the carrots. Track 69 on Undertow by Tool.
Alright, so you're going around town.
Yeah, I'm picturing that classic, establishing shot in Western movies where it's the busy Western town, wagons pulling up the road, and men on horses, and
Absolutely.
Horses
people
are
sit on the porch smoking, getting shaves,
Probably a dozen different characters I mentioned, but then we never actually went further
Right.
detail or there to interact
yeah,
with.
and Rachel's pointing out the locals that she knows, and oh, there's the horror house, and that's run by whatever, and there's you know,
Madame du Pompadour.
that's the laundry, the newspaper office, and
Okay.
just showing them around.
Stopping
So,
to talk to all the people with the green exclamation points over their head.
Yeah.
picking up some side quests for sure. Healing,
See,
dropping off
Dirty Mike
the
hovering over a
inventory,
cat, and you're like, oh,
so you can
he
go
was.
back out and get more swords.
Find the 10 horseshoes so you can find 100 more horseshoes.
Exactly. Stopping to play a bit of Gwent. Want to get all the Gwent
No,
cards.
no, Gwent. No.
I just didn't dig it.
What game is that?
And so then when
Witcher.
so you're saying Haru's sitting on the porch of the inn?
Added information. He would have gotten up, smoked, and then
Oh.
been like heading to the general store when it opened
Oh, okay.
to go get cologne.
Oh, yeah, well, we'll say if you want, as he asks, like, is the Iron Dragon giving you any trouble?
Mhm.
I'll say, no, in fact,
Coincidentally,
right here is the chief of the police for the
probably
railroad.
after I'm getting out of the general store, you know. Like,
Sure, yeah. Why out?
I'm one of those high school kids with Axe body spray.
Oh
This is
That doesn't have to
Mr.
stop at high school.
Matsuhara.
But it should.
He was recently,
Murdered. Wait, did I say that?
I'm trying to think how she was recently injured in a fight. He's recovering.
Fight with who?
You have seemed to have put me in the spotlight, as
Sorry.
Miss Kennedy. I was dealing with some issues of the Iron Dragon, and
Get many of those around here?
I would say no. Most people are too afraid of dealing with the Iron Dragon. They are a large and powerful operation, as many people from around here already understand. But we have the occasional troublemaker.
I see.
And who are you, sir?
My apologies. Here's the new regional marshal.
U.S. Federal Marshal Locke. Malcolm Locke. Pleased to meet you.
Grips his hand, rather firmly.
Oh, that was a cold grip you got there, Mr. I don't think I caught your name.
Haru Matsuhara.
Matsuhara.
You can call me Haru.
Haru. Okay. You can call me Malcolm.
And I apologize. I am taking a little time to recover and not getting a lot of blood flow.
Ah, I see. Well, take that back. Let's see. Hope you feel better right soon.
I am feeling better every day.
Good. Us lawmen gotta stick together, right?
Sure, I appreciate the company of our law officers.
Well, Deputy.
Well, shall we go see if Daisy's up and about?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you mind if,
Whoops.
No.
There goes Daisy.
do you mind
Daisy's
if
up,
I
but she's
accompany you?
Not
Sounding
at all,
behind
Haru. Are you feeling up to it, though?
I will be taking it easy.
Then sure. Do we need to ride our horses to Medford? Or it's not like walking distance?
No, well,
Right?
you can walk
You
it.
can
but
walk it, but it'd take a
Take
very,
yeah.
quite a bit.
Yeah, it'd take probably more time than you'd want to
Right.
spend.
It'd probably take about 40 minutes.
Well, let's go saddle up.
Sounds like a good plan.
Haru whistles for Kuhn, who would be probably from Jacksonville, and the closest general store that was from in the Western Day was down the street just a little bit, so...
Coon's just like, I'm in the stable, motherfucker. You gotta come open the door.
No, I don't. Jump it.
Also, I'm not wearing my fucking saddle, so...
Yeah, that's true.
You just only have telepathic communication with Coon.
No. He go to the stable, saddle up.
What's Macario doing during this time?
I think he's mostly engaged in basically just like still trying to warm the town up, but he's gotten a little bit more desperate with it, where he's like trying more dangerous tricks and things that he hasn't tried before.
Are you still trying in Medford, or are you in Jacksonville doing this?
I think he's heading over to Jacksonville because I assume like the fact that food is rotting is something that has been noticed in more than just like Medford.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably in the whole area. Yeah.
People know that food kind of spoils a little fast, but it's hazards of frontier living.
Yeah.
Go
So,
ahead and make me a persuasion roll there.
all right. I will say that in this particular persuasion, he's attempting a flame trick, which he's never done before, where he lights his lasso on fire
Ooh.
and basically tries to like jump rope at it with it, while at the same time doing a puppet show with his other hand.
Whoa.
It's extremely dangerous.
Did he say don't try this at home?
No.
Definitely try this in your home.
Great.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. So
right.
that's an 8.
Yeah, you're pulling the trick off, and people are enjoying it. They're applauding. You know, some of them are giving you a bit of money to help with your livelihood.
They're in hospital bills.
And they're walking away with a
I
smile.
thought.
So you get a feeling like you're lifting people's spirits with your show here. Having a little better reception in Jacksonville than you were in Medford.
Yeah. He basically kind of like does this motion where he's like has his victory arm, and he accidentally burns himself on this like the fire flames are open. He goes, oh.
I feel like that's part of the clown act, though. You know, where they like hurt
You
themselves.
pass it off as like, see, I did that on purpose. My arm doesn't hurt excruciatingly right now.
Never, don't mind the scorch marks on my sleeve.
Yeah.
Those were already there.
So Jacksonville's 5.5 miles, so probably be about an hour and a half to walk.
Yeah, probably once in that long walking.
You probably see Haru and the deputy in the company of another person walking through the streets. Chen Mei, you're also probably at the Jacksonville Inn getting a game of Mahjong on.
Mm-hmm.
You've been busy for the last couple of days kind of trying to follow up on leads regarding the assassination attempt on Sheng Jin.
Okay.
You haven't really turned up a whole lot of answers. You heard a rumor that one of the individuals involved in the gang that attacked the stagecoach has been sighted out in Crescent City.
Oh. So, is this gang Asian in origin, or
No. So your understanding is that most of them were killed during the rescue of Sheng Jin, and just this one guy took off running into the forest and survived to get to Crescent City.
Must be scary bitches. Stared down a Gatling gun and lived.
So what's is there like an easy route at this point, like the highway over to Crescent City? Does that exist at this
No, it doesn't. Probably the Iron Dragon is trying to send a railroad. Actually, another lovely retcon throughout there. I said previously that the railroad doesn't pass through Ashland. They're building a spur line there.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong. The line passes through Ashland, and the spur line
into Ashland, it goes right through the town.
Yeah, I haven't looked at a map recently.
Going right behind where my dad worked.
But they're currently trying to build a spur line
The
through
railroad district.
to Crescent City
don't-
from
Do you know
Medford.
where Ashland Harbor is? in Ashland?
Yeah, no, I don't go by the railroad in Ashland all that often, just because.
Actually, it's probably
Forget
like
that it's there.
branching off from the Grants Pass
Yeah.
portion
That
of
would
the
make
of
sense.
the rail line.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're trying to build a spur line out to Crescent City.
Okay.
Just to help with transportation of ghost rock harvested from the maze.
So does Iron Dragon have like a regular caravan of people running back and forth between Crescent City and the Valley if they're working on building the line?
The hope is to open up trade. They probably have a Hell on Wheels style camp near Grants Pass where the spur line is being built.
Okay.
Progress is slow, as previously stated. Sometimes they're lucky to get a mile after a day's work, and other times, they finish their work, go back to the camp, and come out the next day and find that the previous day's work has been eaten by the forest.
Oh. Okay. So it's kind of like trying to bilge the flood with a soup spoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the name of the guy that you heard is in Crescent City is Ethan Sutton.
Okay. Well, knowing that my recent compatriots are excellent at addressing issues strange and unusual, I'm going to go to find them to see if they would be interested in accompanying me to Crescent City.
Okay.
So is there anybody that's in the tavern right now?
As a matter of fact, you look out at the street and you see Macario doing his performance
Okay.
out in the street, probably right in front of the bank, because that's kind of where the town center for Jacksonville is, I
That's where
think.
the well is too. Isn't
Yeah, it is.
So
Good idea.
Macario-
A place to put out the fire. One of those.
And you see
Rachel
Haru
getting her
and
chug.
Rachel and some other stranger you've never seen before
Okay.
walking along.
And Daisy's probably still in bed.
Mm.
So I have Rachel wanted to know
Where
what
are
time
you,
it was.
Daisy?
I think I went back to Medford.
Mm-hmm.
To home. Yeah.
Most likely, you definitely went home.
Yeah.
But at this point in time of the day, it's mid morning, like 9 o'clock.
I don't know. Is there a reason for me to be in Jacksonville right now?
You tell me.
Because I don't know. I haven't spent much time at home. There's probably projects I got to work on.
Working on project and stuff.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right. So yeah, you two and Malcolm Locke are walking along.
Yeah, well, we had decided that we were going to saddle up and ride out to Medford.
Yep.
To-
You're heading to there. You see Macario doing his thing.
Rachel will, not wave, but give that little nod to you because she sees you on the middle of the show. She doesn't want to distract you.
I think
You're probably just finishing up.
Haru's brush with death is going to make him even closer to his friends, wanting to just them to be reassured that he's around and there. So he's going to call out to Macario. Macario, you're doing well today.
I do better if you tip me, he says with a joke as he points at the tip jar or whatever he's got there, his hat.
Yeah.
I drop
Probably have
$2
a spare hat
Yeah.
to use as the tip.
You know what? I'll give Macario a couple of dollars.
Okay.
Kind of make it look like, hey, this guy deserves
Yeah.
it, so other people can be
Yeah.
will be willing to also. But you seem to be doing fine from my point of view, Macario.
Oh, of course I do just fine. Oh, fuck. He realizes one of his handkerchiefs in his pocket is caught on fire, and he puts it on and stomps on it real quick.
Always good to bring a smile to my face.
That is why I'm here, Haru. The people of Jacksonville, they are much happier than the ones of Medford. I have a much better time today.
Nope, that's a modern reference.
Is it though? Is it?
It's called
I feel like people in
Medford,
Jacksonville
not
are still
Medford,
pissed off
right?
about the railroad. Sorry, Jacksonville listeners, but it's true. Y'all are still pissed off about the railroad bypassing you.
It does still get brought up on a regular basis.
Yeah.
For the railroad to love you, you've got to love yourself.
But it's still not going to run through
I really
Jacksonville.
keep thoughts on the cloud there.
Never
I
will.
feel like when Macario's not playing around, he's hosting his own podcast with deep thoughts with Macario.
Shower thoughts of Macario.
Order order for the railroad to love you, you must first love yourself.
You ever wonder why we park in a driveway but drive on a parkway?
No, Macario probably doesn't.
All right, I think we're going to fast forward just a little bit to you guys reach Medford, collect your compatriots along the way. Chen Mei is there.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, Miss Chen Mei. I'm glad to see you out of the mahjong parlor.
Ma'am, pleasure to meet you.
Oh, hello. Who are you?
Name's Malcolm Locke, U.S. Federal Marshal.
Hello, Malcolm.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
What's brought you to this area?
Well, newly assigned to the region. Just making the rounds, getting to know people, letting folks know who I am.
Oh, okay.
And here to look into some disappearances, too. Namely, one Mr. Gilmore.
Interesting. Deputy, when you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you.
We're heading over to Daisy's now, but I'm sure we can find some time to speak today.
Thank you.
Haru gives.
Is that Malcolm coughing?
No, that's Ben coughing because
okay.
he's still fucking sick
Yes,
after
he has
like
TB.
2 weeks.
Okay, Malcolm doesn't have tuberculosis.
No, he does not have consumption.
Just checking.
Oh,
It was pretty common.
Alright, so, yeah, you hear a knock on your door.
My door.
Daisy.
Well, who would that be? Jonathan? I'll go up to the door. I know who it is.
It's not Jonathan.
Huh?
I'd be down away from the door, not wanting to crowd the door.
So who's the one knocking?
Probably me, I would think.
Oh, hey, Rachel. Welcome.
Daisy, how are you?
Oh, not good. A lot of time away. Look at this. I'll show you this, like, lump of... It's just a big lump of metal and other things right now. This experiment totally went and failed because I wasn't here to monitor it.
Oh.
Is this your coffee machine?
No, that's still working, luckily.
Oh, good.
Well, you must be Miss Daisy Gilmore.
I am. Aren't you that gentleman I saw the other day?
Indeed. Had I known that you was you, I would have started to talk for a bit more, because you're the person I was here to look for.
Oh, really?
My name is U.S. Federal Marshal. U.S. Federal Marshal. I maybe should not be pouring myself another shot of whiskey here.
He's also drinking whiskey,
Yes.
which the people with consumption did. So my theory is only growing.
Or vampire.
Or he's harrowed.
Shit, I had thought of that.
Everybody is
Everybody is
Why is
harrowed.
everybody
I don't know.
dying or
I don't know why we
dead?
called this Valley of Famine. It should be called Valley of the Harrowed.
A marshal?
No. What did Jonathan do?
Macario's a ghost. I was going to save it for my season 2 twist, but
She's gonna.
U.S. Federal Marshal. U.S. Yeah. No, I said it correctly the first fucking
Yeah,
time.
I know why you were. You got it.
It just didn't. It rolled off the tongue weird. Federal Marshal Malcolm Locke. There, I got it out.
Because your tongue's folding on itself. It's filled with ants.
I'm here to help investigate in your, I believe, father's abduction.
My daddy?
Yes, your father.
Yes.
Um,
What do you know about him?
well, I was hoping you could tell me what you know.
Well, all I have right now is this letter that I got from the Denver Pacific Railroad saying that he's gone missing.
He's gone missing.
They believe he's kidnapped.
When was he last seen?
This was months ago now. Yeah, last fall.
Fortunately, word travels slow. My apologies. I only just recently got assigned to the case. But I understand a lot of persistent telegraphs were sent by you and other parties.
Well, yeah, I've been trying to find out where he is because they say the Denver Pacific says he's kidnapped.
They'd say why they believe that.
Because I don't really know. All they really told me is they assume he's kidnapped because he was working on something and then he disappeared.
wouldn't know what he was working on, would you?
That I don't know. I haven't worked with him since I ran off and joined the circus.
Oh. Huh. Interesting. Well, some good information there. Don't suppose you could give me any other leads to work on?
Well, could be. He might have went after the Lemurians. I'm trying to find them.
Yes.
The Lemurians? Who
Yeah.
are they?
Oh, they're the little people up in Shasta.
Little what?
The little people up in Shasta.
Oh, okay. Shasta. So your
And
father was working in Shasta then?
Oh, no, he wasn't there. The Lemurians are there. And the little
Are they
people.
like a gang of midgets or something?
No, they're not little people like that. They're not quite human. They're not from this planet. And they have a city inside Shasta. I met one of them once. And they learned how to take my daddy's invention and turn it into a weapon because of them.
He jumps in there during the conversation this morning and go, Daisy, I told you that we investigated the Lemurian angle very thoroughly and there was no evidence linking them to your father's disappearance.
Yeah.
Haru.
And she's just gonna
There's definitely no evidence of this.
Haru goes to Malcolm and says, "One lament to another. Daisy says strange things, but she means well."
So, does Iron Dragon run down through Shasta?
Absolutely, yeah. You run all the way to... It's called Shanfan, but it's basically San Francisco.
Okay. So, Daisy, I'm very intrigued by this. Perhaps we can play Mahjong and you can tell me more about these Lemurians.
Okay.
Malcolm's like taking the opportunity to slowly back away.
I've actually this week had some time to finally sit down and read the book that this guy read, like the first mention of him. And yeah, the guy is so off his rocker. There's a foreword written in 1899. You're like, now all these things that have been invented, like I was writing about this way back in 1886, but now it's real. It's like, oh my god.
What if we spark like a revival through the show?
There's people who believe in Lemurians.
What's the name of the book?
It's A Dweller Between Two Planets.
All right, there you go, listeners. If you want to know more about the Lemurians, pick up A Dweller Between Two Planets
by Frederick Spencer Oliver.
There you go.
Or just visit the city of Mount Shasta and you will
we'll tell you all about
the
it.
people there.
Oh my god!
Sounds like we need to take a field trip, guys.
I saw one of those like rest
There,
stop
answering the
stores that rest stop store that had the Lemurians are here written on a T-shirt.
I don't know what to get Ed.
I haven't been to Shasta yet, actually.
I don't know if
Oh, you haven't
Lemurians
seen the
are...
mural.
No.
I have to say a stupid joke. I don't know if the Lemurians are religious, but I'm sure they have some Shastafarians.
I'm not giving you a penny for that, but...
That was bad. That was bad.
It was one of those
All right, so you meet U.S. Federal Marshal Malcolm Lloyd. Why is that so hard to say?
Because you've been drinking.
You've been drinking.
Okay.
It makes things hard,
It does.
especially combat.
And so he asks you some other questions, trying to get some non-Lemurian related information about your father's abduction.
Yeah, I'll eventually kind of steer back to normal, but basically I don't know much because no one has given me any more information.
Well, and Rachel
Keep looking.
would have mentioned
Well, I've been
Malcolm at some point that she had sent out telegrams and that she had done like an initial investigation into the disappearance, but we couldn't find him.
And Haru asked some people he knew in the Iron Dragon.
Well, I'll keep asking some last sources, see if we can make some headway on this.
Well, I'm glad someone's looking into this.
Well,
Doing all I can from here.
sorry, my apology that it took so long, but you know how government bureaucracy is.
Not really.
Yes, it is. It is a comfortable way to live.
So a couple of weeks go by.
Something with Dr. Gilmore then.
Well, you can make a vigor roll at +2. Or actually just a vigor roll with no negatives. Alright, yeah, you heal your wound.
Nice.
Woohoo!
So you get patched up. Yeah, Chen Mei, you talk to some of the folks here, trying to get some more information on your investigation. Malcolm Locke stays in town.
Is he in the office with Ross and I?
Yeah,
Like,
kind of a little bit
he's the
to
regional marshal
Ross's
now.
chagrin.
I was gonna say Ross is gonna love that.
Especially because he doesn't take over any of the paperwork, and if anything, he passes more of it on to Ross. Just what? No, I can barely figure out the budget.
And Walter's cover with stick figures.
So, if
I have made a clever flip book.
if I can convince my friends that I've made in Jacksonville to accompany me to
Crescent
City, would Iron Dragon be willing to pay them for their work?
Shenzhen has given you an allowance. I'm not really sure that's the right term, but
It's called an operations budget.
There you go. It's giving you an operations budget, so you can probably pay them some $30, $40 to assist.
Okay. So when Malcolm is not around, when he's with Ross,
Okay.
I will talk to everybody.
And you don't have to worry about paying Haru, because technically being chief of police of the Iron Dragon, it's his obligation to assist anyway.
Yes.
I mean, he doesn't want to, but duty and all that.
Yeah, I feel like Rachel wouldn't get paid for that either necessarily, right?
Well, she wouldn't
Well, it's
necessarily.
Iron Dragon business.
Yeah, you wouldn't be going in your official role as
I
the
think I
deputy.
know the answer to this question, but since Haru died, isn't he technically released for that duty? Technically?
Okay.
Yeah, but no one knows.
Yeah.
Aside from you and Ross and the Undertaker.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, well, look, that is not the name.
My friends,
I was about to call her Long Wind.
I have observed your ability to address things strange and supernatural. I suspect there are some supernatural actions occurring in Crescent City, and I would like to offer you the opportunity to accompany me to the coast, which would also mean being able to get some fresh fish to eat. I know that's limited here in Jacksonville, and the Iron Dragon will pay you for your assistance.
I apologize. Macario there.
Absolutely.
And then he says, ghosts and fish? Count me in.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Being harrowed and eating,
You don't need to eat.
don't need to eat, but can I to keep up appearances?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was going to be one of those things where you eat and you vomit, or if you can eat and just
Yeah, that's
You
okay.
can eat.
Digest is normal.
It might sit in your stomach for a little longer than ordinary.
And then weirdly
But
just
like
kinda slide through.
to heal naturally, you need to eat raw. Well, you need to eat a pound of flesh, be it raw, fresh, cooked, rotten,
Okay.
and your body will process that. So you can probably still, like I said, your metabolism is way slower, probably.
Okay. No, fish sounds good then. That's a pound of flesh.
And it can be any flesh, not specifically like human flesh or.
Right.
Okay. So
Punch a bear.
normally I would call upon our employees of the Iron Dragon for this task. However, from what I have seen, they're not quite as skilled in addressing strange and unnatural as all of you are.
To put it plainly, most of our Iron Dragon employees are limited in their capability at fighting in the first place.
That is also true.
We'll go into that adventure, but that's a little bit beyond the scope of our season finale. But we'll, for sure, like that's not just a dead end quest.
I'll have to check with Ross, but I suspect it can take a couple days to get out to Crescent City.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just gotta make sure that, I'll point to the pile of garbage of melted crap, that doesn't happen again while I'm away. But
Might I suggest you do not start anything until you know you are going to be home for at least a while.
Where are we at right now?
You're in
Okay.
the Rogue Valley.
I'm looking
Are
at
we
it.
outside?
You
Are
can
we
see me eye some
going?
things
Probably
on
inside.
shelves, like, uh-oh.
You're probably having a meal at the Jacksonville Inn or some place where you can talk privately.
Okay, I'm going to try to discreetly sniff my food. And then kind of sniff. The evening is nice. Might I suggest that we take our meal out to the deck and eat out there?
Sounds fine to me.
Everything smells bad to me.
There's a little bit of an odor in the inn tonight, and I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Wah, wah, wah.
And I do not want to offend our host. So perhaps we can eat under the stars.
And eating for you, Haru, is probably you can do it to keep up appearances, but it's like there's no taste.
Again, it would be appearances only. It would be more of like, I don't want people thinking weird things, like I don't see him eat.
Mm-hmm. And even like maybe sometimes when you're smoking your pipe, like sometimes you just inhale and you forget that you need to actually exhale.
Yeah.
And so it just sits there for too long, and then
You open your mouth to say something.
You just
and
start
all the
talking.
smoke comes
Yeah.
pouring out.
Sorry, that was weird.
Would he even be impacted by the nicotine in the?
Nope.
not in the least.
I'm immune to all poisons and diseases and
Yeah, you can't get drunk anymore.
So this is
Yep.
just about keeping up appearances and maintaining the habit more so than it is.
Yeah.
Actually,
So maybe he continues smoking his
I mean,
pipe.
he's going through nicotine withdrawal right now.
Nope, feels nothing.
Oh, I feel things. Just different things.
Still has a
Nothing
bunch.
that's not existential.
Again,
In some way.
he feels closer to you guys. He feels definitely more close to Ross because the kindred spirit kind of thing.
And yet, ironically, it's that horrid voice in your head that knows you best at this point in time.
And he hates that.
So after everyone's done eating, I'm going to pull out my box of mahjong tiles and see if anybody wants to play games.
It's just did one line that continues all the way around the line. And then it's
I've
like,
never played
why?
mahjong before.
Oh, I can teach you.
Do you
Like
stack like dominoes?
No.
My mama used to stack them, and knock them over and make like smiley faces, and it goes on like this for a bit.
You guys are getting your mahjong game set up, and you're sitting out there.
Yeah, Chen looks at her ivory, inlaid mahjong tiles and looks at Macario and is quite puzzled as to why somebody would knock over something so fragile and precious.
You look confused. You want me to show you?
Thank you, friend, but I will pass on her offer.
Someone comes to your table.
Who?
Valerie Rose of the Epitaph, Tombstone Epitaph.
Oh shit.
Take your picture.
Cologne everywhere and keeping head down. Haru, I also thinking about how the Japanese can be. He would actually be closer to Rachel even more because there is a connection there, whether it be romantic or not.
Right.
But he feels his humanity is closer to you than it would be a lot of other people.
Well, yeah, I feel like they definitely have a connection. Plus, I don't know if she would have told him yet, but she sat with his body that first night, so.
Yeah.
Did anyone tie a bell on his finger to make sure that
Should be a.
It was a
take
gigantic
over.
scythe
Yeah,
wound in my
the Klingon
chest, so
vote.
we're pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, we've both been to Deathlands. So
I think that's also part of it.
Have you told him?
I don't know if I think you mentioned that place, and Rachel kind of got this look on her face, so she knows that you might have been there, but she hasn't told you yet.
I think even Haru's not fully understanding of it. Like, it's just like a...
I actually had kind of filed that away, though, because at some point I think she would want to talk to her about that. I'm not sure when. I'm kind of waiting for an opportunity for it to come up naturally.
So, well, if you're playing Mahjong with her, he's just standing nearby.
She'll kind of like,
Really?
yeah, while I'm playing, I might be a bit distracted. In fact, I'm constantly like looking over at Haru to make sure he's like still there.
Keeled over.
Yeah, and he's okay.
Valerie Rose comes walking up. Good evening, friends. Mind if I have a seat and join you?
Miss Rose.
I'll look to you since it's your game.
Have you played Mahjong before?
Oh, once or twice, in fact. Did a followed a couple stories in Shanfan. Learned the game.
Expose.
I'm
Chinese.
not very good at it, but it's a good way to pass the time.
Well, I'm sure you're a much better player than you.
And she
say
has a
you are.
far more feminine voice than Ben has.
Would you be interested in wagering some money on our game?
I'd be interested in wagering a story.
What story are you looking for?
Well, your compatriots here were involved in solving the mystery of the farm and ranch hands that were going missing, and I'd like to know what they found.
At the mentioning of her, the ranch hands and farm hands missing, I feel that Haru would actually clutch his chest a little bit, because like just a flashback of the pain and...
Well,
Now I'm concerned.
I cannot wager the story of others. That would be for my companions to decide. And as she says this, she prepares a new pot of tea and pours some tea for Miss Rose and says, "Please join us."
Haru, clutching his chest, looks to the other three and just kind of shakes his head like softly. Like leave certain details out.
Macario will kind of see this and step in front of Haru and say, yes, the farmhouse, we were spending the night, and this is when we saw the bodies, a mound of dirt.
Mm-hmm. And something that probably Ross has informed you, Deputy. We'll do a quick flashback to your debriefing after you told him that Haru died. And
Right.
really sad. Deputy, I'm sure you're going to get some questions from folks on what happened, what was going on. And as terrible as it is, to commit the act of Lashon Hara, ill gossip, if you will, I think it might be best to, maybe say that the Hendersons were involved in some shit.
Lie hard.
Better that folk think that they were killing people than to know the truth. God help me.
God help us all.
Probably won't.
Yeah,
What
probably
happens
not. They're not going to help
when-
me for damn sure.
Start digging up those bodies, and the Hendersons are among them, though.
You said that field burned, right?
Yeah.
Those bodies probably ain't very recognizable no more.
Better hope so, Ross.
I'm fair certain. It's not something I like doing. Casting a stain on someone's good name when they don't deserve.
They were good people.
They didn't deserve what happened to them. They don't deserve having their reputation tarnished like this, but maybe I spent too long in the company of some of the rangers, but sometimes.
I'm gonna go blabbing about no monsters, but
Maybe you could offer up an alternative, like bandits came and killed some people, like stumbled upon their little hideout. They killed the Hendersons to use their house as a hideout. And people from the ranch that stumbled upon it were killed as well. And then they left.
yeah.
Or the Hendersons were evil, which is a lot simpler.
True.
Truth is, I don't know what happened out there, but ain't
You're saying
monsters.
this to Rose?
No, that's
Yeah.
to Ross.
That's Ross.
Kind of like in the
Would you like
flashback.
offering to get some?
She's not really talking to Rose
You
yet
could
because
talk
she
to them.
also like
Mm-hmm.
Haru has fragile memories associated with that whole. So she's
So what are you telling Valerie Rose? She's asking questions about what happened, what was going
We
on.
went to
Well,
investigate the disappearances, stumbled across farm, found mounds of dirt,
Yes.
confirmed to be the dead, missing ranch hands and workers. The farm, I do not remember name of. It was hard to read on anything. They may know more.
Yes, we did not find who did this, only the bodies. But you can guess, I suppose, was bandits or maybe, I don't know, but
it was the Henderson farm. We got out there, found the bodies, didn't find the Hendersons. Don't know there were quite a few graves out there. Don't know if the Hendersons just hadn't been dug up yet, or
you said
Sarah.
you got the folk who did it.
yeah.
Did you say that? Drinking? I don't know.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. There are bad folk out there in the world, Valerie, and we took care of them.
Well, it's good to know that our valley has such capable and stalwart protectors like yourselves. I'll make sure my readers know that they can count on you to keep them safe.
Appreciate that, Mallory.
Well, I thank you for the story. I thank you for the game.
Thank you.
It's been a while since I played Mahjong. It's been a pleasure to remember how to play it.
Well,
You played better than I do.
you are a better player than you give yourself credit for.
And definitely while you're playing, even though she's putting off this whole oh yeah, I learned it, I played it once or twice in Shanfan, I'm a little rusty, she's giving you a bit of a run for your money,
I'm just learning this game, so.
which I don't know how you do that because I'm pretty sure Mahjong is a whole lot of luck.
I don't think you stack them up like dominoes and knock them over. I'm
No,
pretty
you,
sure that's
no,
not
you
how
don't.
you do
No,
it.
you do not.
No,
You also don't just
actually
smash
probably
the
a bad
house on
idea.
a computer game.
No, you don't do
Yeah.
that either.
I actually really like Mahjong.
I
It's fun.
love playing Mahjong, but I have no skill at it.
I have
There's ones
strategy.
with the same symbol and they disappear. That's how you play it.
That's not.
I
That's
definitely
not
have
Mahjong.
So that's how you
strategy.
play on the computer.
Isn't that called Taipei or something like that?
I don't know.
I also don't know how you do Mahjong with more than 4 players.
Or less than 4 players, too, right?
You can do it with less than 4 players, but I've only ever played it with 4 people. I imagine if you added any more, it'd go really, really fast because there's a lot of tiles going to people.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the gist of all we know, Miss Rose.
Well, I thank you for your time. And thank you for speaking to me.
Have yourself a nice evening.
And yeah, she puts out a pretty positive sounding article. And then Alexander, I think his name was Alexander Corbin. I'm trying to me to look, but
Is that the other newspaper?
yeah.
Yep. Alexander Corbin.
He doesn't actually ever come talk to you, but he puts out a pretty bleak article. Again, it's pretty much just laying out the facts. Like, here's what happened. What was the resolution? Don't know. No one really said, but these people went out there, and then the disappearances stopped. So I guess that's a good thing, I suppose.
Basically, he read Valerie's article and wrote his own.
Kind of. He probably put more research into it than I'm giving him credit for.
Well, he probably talked to people who actually investigated the mounds and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. You right there, Trisha?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're going to fast forward a little further. It's the end of the month. In fact, you wake up October 31st.
So if you say the reason why we haven't gone to Crescent City is because Ross wants me to stick around in town to help get the Marshal settled.
Yeah. And you've been working pretty closely with Marshal Locke.
Mm-hmm.
He's a real friendly guy, very charismatic. You're probably getting to like him.
Okay.
Haru's been spending any private time he can with Ross kind of learning about the condition so he knows what he can do to...
Yeah, he tells you what he can, which isn't much.
I understand. I think this is just because Haru's like, you're the only source of information I have. If Ross could only give him a little bit, he'd be like, okay, you've given me enough, I'll figure out the rest on my own.
You just gotta be prepared, because the thing inside you is gonna strike any moment. Try to take over and do whatever mischief it can. I've fallen prey to mine a time or two. But if you're strong-willed enough, you can keep control. Whatever you do, don't give in. Don't let them take over.
I am strong.
I hope so. One more thing. You should probably know. Think inside you may have told you. Maybe it hasn't. You're pretty resilient to whatever can hurt you. But don't get shot in the head. Destroy the brain, you're dead permanent, like.
I will attempt to keep my head from harm.
I think that's a better option than staying animated with a destroyed brain.
Yeah. That'd be a bummer.
Perhaps
I will promise you one thing. If you lose control,
put me down.
I'll put you down. It's not an easy thing, but folk like you and me, it's for the best. But as long as we can do something good with our eternity,
I will do the best I can to protect those I care for.
good. It's all we can do.
It is clear to me that I may never return home, but I will protect those I care for.
So since I wasn't there when Haru died, I'm going to assume that I don't know that he's harrowed.
Yeah, unless someone here volunteers that information.
And at this point, I'm also going to assume that I figured out that he is the source of the smell that was bothering me in the tavern.
You actually have to roll notice -2 to make that connection.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Does the alcohol
You
do
might
anything to help?
notice, though, too, that
Yeah, that's
Rachel...
why it's at a
Okay.
-2.
I was gonna say, Rachel's probably, like, doing that thing where, like, someone she cares about has been killed. And, like, that hovering protectiveness thing of, like, I want to make sure you're okay. And, like, you know...
We've seen a lot more of her.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're probably having a little bit of trouble corroborating the fact that Haru is dead. You
Right.
saw him die.
Right.
You're still
It's
feeling
hard for
that
her to
grief.
grasp her. Yeah.
But at the same time, he's back.
It was a real shock to
Don't
have
And
him
even
return.
when he takes like his clothes off, he's keeping a big set of wrap bandages all the way up and around, just because in case somebody were to come into his room or something
Yeah,
like that.
and if anyone were to ask about that, she would say, "Well, it's his heart. You know, he had that heart attack in the woods." But it's really like it's the shock of like he was dead, now he's alive.
Yeah.
And again, whether it's romantic or not, Haru does feel emotionally and like connected to you. He's not sure about why, and it's probably because the hunting grounds kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is that what that was? Is the hunting grounds?
That's
I mean,
my
part
take on the hunting grounds.
Yeah, part of it, that may be part of it. It's also because you're a fellow lawman. He feels that you have a very strong code of ethic that he can agree with.
Right.
And
Plus
Lazarus Black has probably picked up on some of those feelings. Sure would be a shame if something happened to your friend the deputy there.
Anything happened to her, I would kill me myself.
You sure about that?
Well, you have no idea how willing a Japanese is to kill themselves, do you?
Oh, I've heard plenty of rumor, but you ain't the only one in control here, boy.
We'll see about that.
Yeah? Why don't we?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I rolled a net 3.
Okay, yeah, you haven't figured out that it's Haru.
I'm going to assume that I've noticed that there's this smell that's kind of lingering in the air wherever I go.
And he's covering up, so it's like an underlying smell. Like maybe you probably haven't put 2 and 2 together.
Right. I noticed that it's just kind of
I think you get to roll first there, sir.
presence, but I haven't
exactly,
figured out where it's coming
Right. It's like maybe you think it's something like in the inn, because like that's where.
from. Like maybe a skunk.
Uh-oh.
Maybe a skunk got into the
Yeah.
They
17.
might clean it up as well if they could have.
You get a +1.
No.
Well, I got a 6 there. Nope. So you struggle. Maybe we flash to a little scene in the hunting grounds where it's you and Lazarus kind of squared off. You got your katana drawn. He draws it. Looks like a katana, but he wields it just like a saber. And he comes running at you, clash swords, and then at the last second, like you knock his blow aside, and you run through again, and he looks down. Well, there's always next time, boy.
I will never give in to you.
And then he kind of absorbs back into you, and you.
Is that a domination roll?
That was a
You
domination
got a
roll.
raise
You
on
got a
his
raise.
domination roll.
So you're actually at +2 domination now.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So there's no place on the right. It's enough. But that means the next time we make a Dominion check, you roll at +2.
Sweet.
You can still fail it.
I'm not going to get cocky. I'm just playing the character I would be. Like, oh, I will never give in.
You know, I think I need to spend a penny to make that happen. So,
Oh really?
All right.
Upside.
yeah.
Less pennies to spend on the rest of you guys.
Yeah. So it's October 31st.
Hey, look, I could go out dressed as a corpse.
I don't think folks celebrate Halloween.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen to be Chen Mei's birthday. I don't know if you tell anyone else that.
No.
I don't know that I would tell anybody that.
Ours is March 21st, I think. No, August
Is
7th.
there
Oh.
is there any
My birthday
local
was
lore
2 weeks ago.
surrounding? Would it have been called Halloween at this point, or still
All Hallows Eve. Yeah.
Is there, considering the supernatural and the strange that we've encountered, is there local lore about spooks and specters on All Hallows Eve?
You know, I don't know. I'm not that knowledgeable about the history of Halloween. I think there's one other scene I wanted to visit on before we move on, actually, which is your inevitable meeting with Lan Hui.
Oh, yeah. Yes, okay. So I had my couple weeks of rest.
Yeah.
We totally lost over Daisy's 21st birthday.
Here, is it just
Did we? Oh, no.
That was October 14th.
Does Daisy celebrate it? Does she announce it?
You probably would, yeah.
Okay.
What's 21st birthday? Even though it means nothing at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drink when you want, if you can reach the bar.
I just may not feel very good tomorrow.
oh no.
But it's delicious, so it's worth
But
it.
that was 2 weeks ago.
One thing that does happen is Jonathan Graves rides back into town to help
were
celebrate
gonna
your
say-
birthday.
No, right?
And I was like,
Help
whoa.
celebrate your birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is his claim producing a lot of ghost rock?
You're getting there.
Nice.
Actually,
Has the stagecoach robbery reports gone down at all? Coincidentally, mayhap?
remarkably,
Oh wow!
They have.
I wonder if there's a strange coincidence.
odd.
Do you know at this time in history how people from... Am I from China?
Yeah.
How people from whatever region of China I'm from would have celebrated their birthdays?
I have no idea.
Okay, the bit I do know of, you would celebrate it with anybody you would consider family.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you would probably have a quiet moment of prayer in the morning and in the evening, like kind of thankful that you survived another year.
Mhm.
Yes, China is that dark.
Yeah, no.
And I don't remember quite every other detail. They tend not to think of birthdays as personal as we do, like, you know what I mean, like not a lot of partying and
Yeah,
things like
they're
that.
more group oriented than they are
Yeah,
individual oriented.
yeah. So anybody, like, you'd celebrate with your family. You know, you'd talk about the good times. Gifts would be given, but it would be gifts of like either reflection or of a very intimate nature, or also clothing,
Okay.
socks.
Socks are
Usually
the
more
best
elaborate
gift.
stuff like that.
Is it safe
Elaborate
to
socks.
You know what's up, Austin.
I do know what's up.
Is it safe to assume that my uncle Chen Bin would have sent me a gift from Washington?
Yeah, what did he send you?
I don't know what he sent me.
I'm asking you.
She's asking you.
I know what he said
I think
too.
he sent
Well,
you $1,000.
what kind of man is he? Is he a man of wealth or is he a man of poverty?
Yeah.
So he is the minister to the U.S. mission from China. So he's kind of
A man of means. So
Yeah,
he
he's
probably
a
he might send
diplomat.
you like a opulent hairpin or maybe some jewelry, maybe something of American make that he just was like, hey, this is kind of cool.
Mhm.
Maybe a pistol with a fancy silver handle.
Yeah, even that would be.
I know what he sent you. He sent you a jade inlaid mahjong set.
Ooh, that's
Whoa.
fancy.
Would he have done that if I already had a mahjong set?
Yes,
Okay.
you can have more than one.
Can I also have a rosewood hair comb with mother of pearl inlay?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So nice.
So I will take some time on my birthday to write a letter to my uncle of gratitude and respect.
Okay.
And
And
Chinese
also-
listeners, feel free to correct us on this because I'm just remembering some things on what
And
I've
also, once I
read.
figure out that
And
Mark
I-
Rachel would have been stopping by to continue learn how to play mahjong with you
Okay.
because she enjoyed the game.
And I will have taken some time for prayer and reflection in the morning and to give thanks to my ancestors.
And this is the perfect time for Macario to start phase 2.
Oh, what's phase 2?
Oh, boy.
It's where he tries to convince people around town to let him paint their saloons and houses a very bright color of either like lime green or orange or
Whoa.
purple or blue.
I don't think
Anything
he would
like
be very
that.
successful in that endeavor.
But he's going
Paint
to try.
is expensive.
Yeah, at that time, people were strictly using
Like
minerals and
white,
yeah,
and brown, and
yeah.
white
So-
and brown.
to be able to mine the natural resources to make those colors would have been quite expensive.
And so, Mrs. Smith, I am here to tell you that I have already made the paint. It is a very good shade of yellow.
Well, what shade is it?
Oh, can I paint a little? Show you?
Oh,
Okay, well,
you paint your hand right there.
here, I dip a handkerchief in. Take a look.
That's a great sound.
That's a lovely shade of brown. Sure, you can go ahead and paint my house, Sonny. You're doing it for free, right?
Absolutely free.
Great, great.
So, I think her house.
This is even more eccentric now.
Her house sticks out like a sore thumb.
It's a lovely shade of
I
brown.
mean, if you were wealthy, people did paint their houses with different colors because, like they'd use what is
Looks
that?
like it's brown.
Buttercup flowers, you know. And
Oh, yeah.
they'd grind the shit out of those and paint those, but it didn't last long, and you had to be really wealthy to get somebody to make it and paint it.
I think once he's finished this task of painting this old woman's house, he'll kind of look at his handiwork, see the places that he missed, and kind of wince a little bit. And then
We shot it in the head.
just, Lady of Guadalupe, is this right?
And you hear an angelic, heavenly voice. Close enough.
Oh.
I mean, at least Miss Smith was nice enough to say, "Oh, it's a lovely shade of brown," instead of, "I'm gonna paint my house the color of piss," because that was a common thing when people wanted to paint their house yellow.
So I guess receiving a message from like his concept of the Mother of God, he's going to have to continue along this path of trying to paint people's houses. I mean, that's pretty unambiguously, yes, Macario, you're doing the right thing. Keep it up.
Bringing color to the valley. One urine-colored
House
house.
at a time.
Is that the only color you're doing?
Paint the rainbow.
He's got other colors, but that was his yellow day, and then he
Wow.
has like a red day and a green day.
You're definitely having some limited success. Like most people are like, no, why would I paint my house? It's just going to get weather worn in like 2 days.
But it will look good for the rest of the week, and your kids will love it, and all the other neighbor kids will love it, and
Slam.
Aww. I really
oh,
want to see Macario convince Ross to paint the sheriff's office.
Should be red.
Daisy will let you paint her
Purple.
house. Definitely.
you are going to love this.
Really,
Daisy.
the question:
I call it
are
lime
you
green.
letting Macario paint the sheriff's office?
I'm not in charge of decisions like that. That's Ross's decision.
Oh,
Rachel's
yeah.
just going to sit back and watch that show happen.
But all he has to do is bring Ross a bottle and Ross will either
Whatever.
or
That's
pass
Ross.
out and then Macario can do
Sure.
it.
Oh, you don't know about Ross.
No, yeah.
Ross is his.
The bottle doesn't work on Ross that
Yeah,
way.
he doesn't
That's
drink
why
for pleasure.
Oh, interesting.
He is very much like our friend,
Okay. I did not know this.
formerly known as the guy named Kane Rhodes,
So did this happen
which he doesn't know either.
the gunslinger, formerly known as
Which,
Kane Rhodes. Sorry.
in which Haru became undead, or is this like the
This
one
is a
reason-
pre-existing condition.
Okay, and why he's just chronically drunk, but not really drunk.
Exactly.
Chronically drinking, like around the clock.
Yeah.
This is why his clock doesn't go at all anymore. 'cause-
Yeah.
It's as dead as he is.
Because he doesn't experience the passage of time.
Yeah.
You bother winding the clock.
Yeah.
He seems like some goddamn thing. Yeah, let's go visit that conversation with Lan Hui. I haven't quite done all the research I should have done for this, but yeah, eventually you return to your duties, and Lan Hui calls you to her office, sends her assistant out.
Man.
How are you feeling, Haru?
I am feeling much better.
Still looking a bit pale, but
I don't think my color shall quite be the same ever again.
okay.
Macario could probably help with that.
Yeah, makeup.
Oh, of course he gets makeup.
So, your investigation into Shengjin's abduction. How is that going?
We have word of one of the men who kidnapped him in the first place, who went to Carson City. We are on the trail of them, but we are. I am finding it difficult to make time to head that way. After all, my duties here are forefront in my mind.
And mentioned last time we talked, you said you grew up in a fishing village in your homeland.
Yes. I fail to see how that is relevant for our working relationship.
I was born in a fishing village, like I said, in Vietnam. Grew up there. I was a young woman, in fact, when a Chinese ship came to visit. It wasn't unusual. We had our fair share of visitors come by, smugglers, pirates. Sometimes they'd take whatever they wanted. Most of the time, they'd trade. One day, ship came in, and I caught the eye of one of their passengers, I suppose. I'm not quite sure what his role on board the ship was, but he attempted to buy me from my family. They made it known that I was not for sale. He did not take no for an answer.
How rude.
Indeed, he slaughtered my family in front of me and took me captive and brought me here to America. I don't suppose you can guess what his name was.
I do not wish to make assumptions. Why don't you just tell me what you're getting at so we can get to the heart of the matter?
He has forgotten me after he sold me here. But I managed to make a name for myself here in the Iron Dragon and rise to the ranks. Sheng Jin murdered my family and sold me into captivity.
Well, if that is true, along with the information you told me that he has stolen my Emperor's prized daisho.
Oh, he's in possession of it. Whether he stole it or not, couldn't tell you that.
Either way, it makes no difference to me. I will figure out who the assassin was for Sheng Jin, as it was my duty. But I will bring these charges to light in front of him and ask him his side of the story, if you do not mind. I will issue my justice if necessary.
Does the assassination attempt of a dishonorable man really merit such investigation?
As long as I don't know the full truth, yes. For I have my duty and my honor, and I said I would investigate. It did not mean I would prevent.
Well, I cannot say I wish you luck in your investigation. I do hope you keep an open mind. You're excused.
If it's anything that the Japanese were not known for, it is an open mind. He bows. And bear in mind, Haru is willing to give her the benefit of the doubt and be like, okay, he doesn't trust Sheng Jin either.
Mm-hmm.
And so he'll investigate the assassination attempt, but if there's another one, he's not necessarily going to stop it from happening either.
Right.
It's kind of a...
She giggles creepily a little too much to trust.
Samurai loopholes. I'll do my duty and investigate this for you, but if you die in the process, it's not my fault.
It just means you weren't good enough to...
No, I'm not his bodyguard. His bodyguard would be the one to be punished.
Yeah. Well, that's where that goes. And then, the morning of October 31st, you are all summoned, if you will, by Lan Hui.
That's exactly what I pictured.
What the hell happened?
Deputy, you're probably just getting up when you hear a heavy knock on your door.
I've been up most of the night.
Who is it?
Answer the goddamn door, Deputy.
Oh, sorry.
Who the hell is it? Who the hell do you think it is?
So Rachel's gonna... You said she's already out of bed or getting out of bed?
Probably out of bed and maybe working on breakfast.
She's
I don't know. What are you then?
Yeah, we'll say she was like out of bed cooking some breakfast. So she's gonna like open a cupboard, pull out a bottle of whiskey, like pull the cork out, sit on the table, grab a glass, put next to the whiskey, and then like roll her eyes, put the glass back up on the shelf, and then open the door. Yeah, come on in.
Took her time.
Getting your drink ready for you.
You ready to ride?
Ride?
Yeah. Lon Hui has asked for a meeting.
She's gonna look at her uneaten breakfast and then be like, yeah, I'm ready to ride.
Alright, let's go.
So she'll grab her gun, saddle up, and follow him out.
Due to Haru's condition, he would have just been mainly patrolling the Iron Dragon's camp anyway. He only comes back to the inn now every once in a while. He doesn't want to make the
when he
other...
has to recharge.
Yeah, he doesn't want to make the other inn patrons uncomfortable.
We were all gathered, even Chen Mei, in a back room at the Jacksonville Inn. And Malcolm Locke is there, too, even. She's not only Malcolm Locke, but someone that we haven't heard from in quite a little while. Oops, here he is. Marshal Edward Markson, who is the Medford Marshal.
Oh, that guy.
That guy, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what was wrong with him per se.
She was just pretty condescending.
He was condescending.
Yeah.
Like I never really intended it originally, but in our very first episode, like Deputy Kennedy was talking about patrolling the circus and making sure no one got out of hand. And he was just like, "Sure thing, Deputy. If you want to go to the circus, you should go to the circus. Whatever."
Oh, he was an asshole.
Yeah.
He was, okay.
So yeah, Rachel's gonna see him just be like Markson. That's all she's gonna say.
Kennedy.
Do the whole slow tipping of the hat kind of thing and keeping my hat down to kind of try to mask my pale
Why are you
face
getting
and
out the
complexion.
combat cards? Why?
I was moving out my way.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so you're all called to meet with Lon Hui.
Yep.
Now, it's been a couple weeks since everything that happened prior. Your birthday.
I haven't told anyone it's been.
Yeah.
It's been a couple weeks since Daisy.
I apologize for interrupting your daily schedules, but we have an emergency situation. I received several telegrams last night and then this morning from towns south of our location. First one came from Weed, California. Calls for help, SOSs. And then from Montague. And then from Hill, I think.
Hilt.
Hill.
You're so great with
Okay.
your names. Like,
No, these are actual
I
full
know,
names.
that's what cracks me up.
Yeah.
Weed and Hill.
Yep. First Weed, then Montague, and then Hill. All telegraphs seem to cut off in the middle of the message. I received another telegraph early this morning from an Iron Dragon train that arrived. We're expecting them later this evening, but I doubt we shall be hearing from them. The first telegram read, "Town of Weed, attacked, stop. Assailant unknown, stop. Proceeding to next station, full stop." We got another telegraph a few hours later. "Montague gone, stop. All dead or missing, stop. All stations alert, stop. Moving along rails, stop. Awaiting reinforcement, stop. Help coming, stop. Good luck, full stop." I don't know what is coming, but I expect it shall be visiting us soon. Sheriff, I trust I can rely on you and your marshals and deputies to assist. Sheriff Ross nods. I know, of course, that I can rely on you, Matsuhara, but would she know your last name? She must know your last name.
Yeah, probably.
What is it again?
Bromista?
Mr. Bromista. I know we have not interacted much, but I've heard that you are an accomplished combatant, and I hope that you will help us.
I give him my full support as a fighter. I have seen it myself.
I am but a simple entertainer with a few tricks up my sleeve.
He is a ace in hole, I think they say.
Will you help us?
It will help bring color, Macario, and not the color of death.
What is the color of death?
White. White, yes, but I was actually going to have Haru say something a little deeper than that.
Okay.
It is like darkness, but even missing that, it is a complete lack of anything. Any color.
That sounds correct. But anyway, yes, of course I will help. I'm already here, and
Ms. Gilmore, will
go
you
big or
assist
go
us as well?
home.
Of course I'll help the railroads out. That's my, it's my family business.
I appreciate it. We'll be manning a watch. I have already contacted a few gunmen in town here, and I can provide some of my own fighters, enforcers for the railroad.
I have done what I can to get the workers out of the railway. Do not want to get them harmed.
Hopefully we will protect all civilians, be they Iron Dragon workers, not warriors.
That's what I am.
or
That's the proudest he's ever said that.
I think I missed which railroad is having issues.
Iron Dragon.
Alright, oh well, I will definitely be there to help.
Oh yes, we're contractually obligated to.
All right, so what we're going to do, actually, because it's getting a little late, is we are going to use the mass combat rules for this. So
I do not know how to do that.
that's fine.
That means we all die.
Yep, everyone dies.
Well, good. I'll come back in
Wow,
to
that
6
was
days.
super fast
Yeah.
combat.
Fast, furious, and fun.
Look, I came back.
Everybody's hero.
I got better.
Yeah. So, how are you preparing? You're sent to the station. Lanhui has
This enemy, whatever it is coming from the south, right?
yes.
Haru would be putting himself at the southernmost way.
Is it coming across the trains?
Yes, it's following the tracks.
I think that a little. I mean, not that I have the hindrance the hindrance, but he has a little bit of that now that with his affliction, his condition, and him being who he is, he would be right there at the front. Like, I'm ready to face death. I will take on whatever foe may come. I will protect the ones I care for, the ones that I need to protect. I will be right in front.
I think. How much time did I have to prepare for this? Like an hour?
Oh, you've got like the whole day.
Okay, he's going to make some mannequins that look like the party as a distraction. And they're just stuffed with straw. And have like bright handkerchiefs that really draw the eye,
How much like a scarecrow do these look like?
They don't look that much like a scarecrow.
She doesn't want me to have a panic attack.
I think they look a bit like a scarecrow.
I think that might freak Rachel out a bit. So
They're not scarecrows because they have smiley faces.
Oh, you see, now
but like even
now that
just
just
like
gives
catching these
Benjamin
mannequins out of
ammo
the
to use
corner of
later,
her eye, it's
where we'll
like
find
it's
another
freaking her out and
Scarecrow.
another scarecrow, and it's got a smiley face burlap sack on, and it's just
Oh, yeah.
with a smiley face stabbing us.
Yeah, I want to say like Rachel's
It's
carving
Halloween.
runes into bullets and like out of the corner of her eye, keep seeing these mannequins and like jumping and being like, oh.
He's bringing out more bennies of colors, and I don't understand what's happening. I'm scared.
Yeah, I don't even know what a green Benny does.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They're not bennies. Don't worry
That's
about
like
it.
something where we're going to be like individually firing off weapons.
No, don't worry about it.
Okay, so that
Now,
means
since we have the
it's
data to
runes.
prepare, Haru's going to meditate a little bit, kind of focus his spirit, if you will.
Okay.
And he might.
Ross actually mutters something about checking some of his books and goes back to his office.
Rachel's going to carve runes and bullets.
Okay.
Like a stockpile. And like distribute them to various people.
Okay. How are you playing that off? Because you haven't made it public knowledge that you're a hexslinger.
Yeah.
And you've got a bit of a tag along because Malcolm Locke is there.
That's true.
Tag along.
She's just
Kind
gonna.
of do-si-do.
She's gonna do the rune carving itself in private,
Mm-hmm.
and then just be like, "These are some fancy bullets from out east. I've heard they've got pretty
I
cool.
shoot it, and suddenly a bear comes out.
Yeah. Scientists come up with crazy stuff these days." And she's gonna give maybe Malcolm a few of.
Daisy will be like, yeah, we do.
She's gonna give him.
He
She's not
clerks.
gonna give him a load for bear.
Ghost rock
That's
charge
probably too magical
Okay.
for trapping. But she might give him like a long barrel special.
Okay.
Which,
He quirks an eyebrow at you.
mhm.
From back east, you say?
Yep.
Never heard of bullets like that. Interesting.
This is the guy from back east.
Yeah, that's right.
Ghost rock pump bullets.
Daisy.
Just
Yeah.
hell.
I mean, if you want, I could totally lie and be like, "Oh, Daisy, she's always coming up with crazy inventions, you know."
If you want.
I mean, you don't have to consult
Yeah.
Daisy on
Yeah,
that.
I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I know Daisy will back me.
Ah.
Because that's
That's
you know.
not a lie. You
She's
are.
quite the inventor.
She is.
Very interesting. All right, so here are
Haru's
your.
well, I was gonna say Haru's gonna pull Rachel aside and be like, "No matter what, stay behind me. I will protect all of you."
Can't lose you again, Haru.
Haru, I hear you trying to play the part of savior again.
Remember on that worked out
Let
for
this
you. Yeah.
let this straw man Haru be your savior. Let them attack these
Straw
things
man?
first. It is not a scarecrow. I already explained this. Scarecrows
will-
do not have smiley
I will
faces.
listen. I will listen to your advice, Macario. I will let your distraction do its job. But once the true fighting begins, I will meet the foe head on. No fear.
Okay.
Don't make me sit over your body a second time. My friend.
I will do my best.
So one of the things Lan Hui offers $3 to each person who's willing to help.
Yeah.
As far as your 30.
30. I was like, 3. Woohoo! I've got a lot more than that.
Whoopty fucking doodar.
You go great.
As far as your forces go, Lan Hui has her personal bodyguards to pretty burly
Guard
looking
her body?
Chinese guys who eschew any weapons,
Ooh, okay.
as well as
Sneeze on your weapons.
five Iron Dragons enforcers who, much the same, don't have any guns or anything like that. They're just these big burly guys. She also has 10 gunmen that she's hired in town. Marshal Markson has 4 deputies that he's providing
Nice.
for the fight, and he's also participating. Sheriff Ross is there as well,
Oh my god. So many dead people.
and Malcolm Locke is there as well.
So Chen Mei is going to go regardless because of her affiliation with the railways. But are we each sharing our $30 fee with the extra people who are joining us?
No, it's $30 per person.
Okay.
So like, she's spreading her wealth a little bit here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. I mean, it's only like what for like $300-400.
So you're taking up positions. You set up some strawmen.
Rachel's
Easy has
position
some
away
preparations.
from
Okay.
Strawman.
First thing she wants to
That's
do is go find Jonathan, meet him at the mine, and maybe get some ghost rock.
All right.
You're gonna have like a passionate farewell with Jonathan.
Maybe.
It's a few hours ride, so you're probably going to be a little pressed for time, but you get out there.
10 minutes is all you need.
Daisy!
Hey, Jonathan, should have.
Well, I guess you couldn't have let me know we were coming, but
That was so dirty.
what's going on there?
Well, the town's in trouble, and we need some ghost rock.
Down's in trouble. What's going on?
There's some telegraphs saying that Weed, Montague, and Hill all went down by something coming on the rails, and it's on its way to Medford.
Some kind of death train.
Oh, well, yeah,
We're
of course.
conscripted to stop it, and I can do some stuff with some ghost rock.
Absolutely. How much do you need?
How much you got?
This is where the player is negotiating with the DM. Because
What are you looking for here?
I don't know. I basically just want like ghost rock to like make, if I could try, like,
Blow a train.
bombs or something like, or
Are we
something.
talking like hand grenade sort of deals, or like a big explosive, like a mine?
I think more like a mine, something where maybe when the train comes into town, we can try to just.
Ooh, interesting.
Which
Not sure I like
Iron
that
Dragon
idea.
may not like that so much.
Jonathan
I was
can
just
give you
wondering.
enough to make a bomb.
Okay.
A mine.
All right. And I'll head back to town and like start helping bolster defenses as well.
All right.
So here's how I'm picturing the distraction would work, just for future reference.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever attacks is getting ready to attack, and like one of the train car doors springs open, and there's all the straw decoys, and underneath like this little lip are a bunch of peanuts that are being smashed all at once to sound like gunfire.
Okay.
And so the whole idea is you got a bunch of like what look like gunmen in this train car that are gonna pull the fire. And
we
when
have
they
access
pull
to
the fire-
Chinese people. We can get like actual firecrackers.
Yeah, this is a very,
Yes.
I'm just want to point that out. We have like we have access to fireworks.
Okay, maybe that makes more sense. Maybe I don't need to invent like something that smushes everything.
How prevalent is gunpowder at this one?
Very.
Oh, okay. Well, we can do all sorts of things with gunpowder.
Oh yeah,
I guess
we
I
could,
didn't think
we could
about
get a
that.
wheelbarrow from the local gunsmith and just be like, "Hey, look, gunpowder, pour it on the track." And
Set
Maybe,
it on fire.
maybe
Well,
peanuts aren't the most.
The Iron
efficient
Dragon
fire.
isn't real thrilled with putting any bombs or explosives on the
Yeah.
tracks.
Rachel
No,
would have
but we
probably pulled like Ross and Long.
well,
Malcolm Locke,
No. Where?
Larkson.
No.
Okay, I don't.
Lan Wei.
Ah.
Long Way.
Long Way. Okay.
Yeah. And Ross and they would like discuss the possibility of just blowing the tracks to prevent the train from coming in.
because I mean, like,
Absolutely not. No.
prevent
That's
loss
what I
of
was
life
thinking.
of everybody.
Yeah.
Repair some tracks. We can persuade that.
I feel like that's a valid strategy, actually. Like that's
It
a
is.
totally
Like,
valid
honest to
strategy.
God, like preventing
that's
everybody
what
from
they
dying.
need as their
Coming
last
into town in the first
ditch.
place.
We can blow this to hell
Yeah.
if we need to.
This is our first ditch ever because we make our first ditch
Yeah.
Yeah.
with an explosion.
I cannot approve that. The cost of materials is best. We know they're coming. We can fight them, whatever they are, at the train station.
Heaven help you if you're wrong.
She's not
kind
going
of storm out. Like Rachel's actually kind of pissed now, and like her respect has gone down. That this woman would value her train over like the lives of the town.
It's bureaucracy.
That's why I have my last ditch. Like, all right.
Well, okay.
Are
Well,
you
I
trying
do
to
with
plant
this.
that mine without anyone noticing? Or are you making kind of like almost like a satchel explosive? So if like
Something more like that, I think.
Okay.
It's kind of like, oh my god, this. Well, if I need to, got this ghost rock and blow everything.
Bro,
up.
blow
so
everything.
it's more like, oh fuck, we're losing.
Yeah.
Okay.
blow up everything.
Yeah.
And then when I get to town with what little I can do,
Make it
yeah, help. I got decent repair skill, bolster the defenses.
Any chance we can break up a flamethrower?
Don't need that chance. I have blast. Or burst, whichever one it is.
So, evening comes. You're all in position. You're waiting. Again, men are waiting tensely for whatever this is that's coming. When you see it, a train is spotted steaming down the pass. It passes through Ashland at sunset, and by the time it makes its way to the Medford station, it is full dark. The locomotive is a dilapidated iron behemoth, black iron, darker than night. The pitted and beaten front of the engine resembles a leering skull, the jagged cowcatcher forming its skeletal upper jaw. Ghost rock vapor streams from the smokestack, wailing in horrific agony as it slowly lurches to a stop, releasing a cloud of fetid green steam which billows out over the station. Shh. There's no movement. There are 3 cars behind it after its big coal tender. 2 look like they could have been passenger cars, but they've been boarded up. They almost resemble coffins to the overly imaginative. And then there's a freight train that follows behind it at the very end. And there is a long moment of silence. You all gaze at this thing. And then you see movement in the cab of the locomotive as something reaches up and tugs on the whistle, and this horrifying blast, like the screaming of 1,000 souls in agony, blares out, and the sky darkens. The moon fades until it's just this faint light, barely casting any illumination upon the station, upon the valley. And you swear you can hear the whispers of dead friends and family plucking at the edge of your hearing. Huh?
Do I hear my daddy?
You do.
So he's not still alive?
The landscape seems to twist and churn around you. The shadows grow longer. Everyone make me a fear check at -4.
So total -2 for me.
Yes.
But you add your grit.
You add your grit, so
Yeah.
you're at a net 0.
Yeah. So that's spirit, right? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to start by re-rolling.
What is fear go against?
Spirit.
Okay.
I succeed. I got a 6.
Okay. Yeah, you're unfazed. You're also
There we go.
Or you master your fear.
I
You're
master.
unfazed because you feel nothing, and even Lazarus Black's like,
I got a raise on that. At least an 11.
But you don't want it in phobia?
No.
Afraid of trains.
Yeah, that'd be a bad phobia for my character.
Yes, I got a 6.
Yeah, 6. All right. Yeah, you master your fear.
Ooh, good.
And the doors to the cars open up, and these figures come rushing forward. They're nearly naked, wearing just tattered clothing. They're pale and gaunt, no hair.
I'm not gonna break the ring. Keep going.
And just this eyes glowing red in the night, and screaming these shrill, blood-hungry cries. A night train has come to visit the Rogue Valley and unleashed its deadly cargo of vampires.
Oh shit.
Nosferatu.
Vampires.
Oh crap.
Is Axel Rose on this night train?
Mm-hmm.
Is Axel Rose on this night train?
No. Luckily.
So I'd like to Benny my fear check.
Oh, I thought you made it.
No, I did not. What does the red one do?
You can send it as a regular or add a d6, but I get a penny.
And the white one is just a reroll?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to do a straight reroll.
For what it's worth, activating my reflection power.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I still didn't make my check.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
I remember
6.
for Fridays.
6.
Yes. I define the white line as really
Alright.
in this one.
You're panicked. So you're not going to be able to participate in this first round of the combat.
Okay.
Because you're filled with fear, because the fear level of the Rogue Valley just went up by a lot with this horrific train whistle.
Did we just go from like yellow to red?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fire season.
Went to black.
Uh-huh.
Actually, it went to Australia, black with red lines for just what?
All right. So who is commanding the battle? You can nominate one of yourselves or an NPC.
I don't know enough about it to.
Yeah.
I think
So
we
basically,
should
if
put
someone has the knowledge battle skill, they want to
Oh.
be in control.
Oh man,
I guess
I
yeah.
Hold on,
didn't
hold
even
on.
think to have that as.
our newly minted Marshal, does he have knowledge about?
He does not.
What about Sheriff Ross?
He does not have knowledge battle either.
Oh well, shit.
I
We're
don't know
all
anything about
boned.
it.
We're
Yeah.
all boned.
I have
Does
knowledge of
Malcolm-
Rail Wars.
Does Malcolm have any other relevant skills that would make him an effective leader in battle?
He's got shooting.
Well, so
Woo!
Well,
He could
then
shoot.
he's the
He
highest
could be a
authority.
commissar then.
Do any of
I
the
would
Iron
say-
Dragon mooks?
Yeah. Just
No.
long way.
Alright, then nobody has it.
Nobody. Yeah.
So Ross will take command of the battle as he seizes things and his research has paid off. And he shouts, "Aim for the hearts! It's the only way to put these things down." And yeah, he's gonna
Rachel's gonna do like
try and roll his default. So first things first. Is everyone participating? Well, Chen Mei, you are staying in cover.
I'm shaking in my boot.
You're shaking your boots, but is everyone else joining in?
totally.
Yes.
Mhm.
I already pointed that was Haru's only thing. I mean, distraction. Macario distraction was up, so I don't know if that's
It's still gonna. He's still gonna try to make it work. It's not. This isn't like people firing at us, but it should still make a lot of noise.
Yeah, no, they come rushing out. I mean, it looks an awful lot. Their goal is mostly to bypass you. Their attack is to get into town. So, what are your tactics? What are you doing?
fend them off,
Yeah, trying to
prevent
them
that.
from getting
So I'd be
down.
going right to the front
So
line.
you're leaping right into combat. What are your soldiers doing? Your troops.
They should be behind cover and aiming for the heart slate.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to throw them at them, but they should be shooting and moving if they need to, moving along with them to keep shooting.
All right. So I will give Ross a +1 for the tactics.
Could I see Rachel's finding a spot to shoot from cover, aiming for hearts, trying to keep them bottled up by the train?
Yeah. So here we go. Roll your fighting.
Am I fighting?
Mm-hmm.
With the wild die?
Yeah, with the wild die.
7.
Okay, hold on a second. Is that a -4?
Oh,
Sorry.
So 3 then.
Mhm.
So not good. Rolling.
Nice.
You have 6? Oh, that's a 9.
9. So
Roll at
Oh,
6 so you
okay,
can get something
better.
crazier.
Nope. 9. So 5.
5. Alright,
Yeah.
that is a success. So you jump into battle, you're slashing with your swords, you're just trying to be as many places as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You get to add +1, so Ross is at a net +2 right now. So you suffer 10 damage.
So that's 3 over my toughness.
Okay, so that would only shake you. We're not going to worry about that.
Rachel sees her jump into battle and her heart just leaps into her throat because she's not ready for this again.
Haru's supposed to live a life of no fear.
She's gonna probably shoot at vampires, like coming up behind you, stuff like that, trying to watch your back.
Go ahead and what are you doing to participate in the combat?
Well, there's all these things coming off the train, and I am just using my burst power to try to just take out as many.
You're using the
of these.
railgun to lay into them. All right, go ahead and roll your. Do you use shooting on the?
No, weird science.
Okay.
Because it's not. I'm not using an infernal device. I'm
Alright.
using my special.
Okay.
So it's, yeah, weird science. Ooh yeah. Ah. So 17
17. That's
on the
2
dice.
raises.
I don't know if that's-
You cover yourself in glory. Scores of these Nosferatu fall before you, and your success inspires your allies to fight like demons.
Ooh.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Alright, Chen Mei, you are skipped. Macario.
Alright. Yeah, he's going to be trying to basically, once he realizes they're ignoring his distraction, he'll start tossing out ropes, trying to like pull these things back to give the Iron Dragon mooks something to shoot at,
Mm-hmm.
and basically just pull them back to
Alright. Go ahead and roll your Entangle spell. Sounds like you're using that.
Okay, sure, that works. He doesn't do anything.
Saving your bane?
Yeah, my entangle's really bad, so...
Oh, okay, I see. Alright. Debbie.
I'm shooting at vampires who are kind of like coming up behind Haru,
All right.
like covering him, basically as he's engaged in melee.
Okay, go ahead and roll your shooting.
10.
Oh, shit.
15 minus 5.
Yeah, that's...
Or minus
4.
So, 11.
11. That's not quite 2 raises, so... oh no, yeah, +2. That was a raise. Sweet. Suffer. Uh-oh. And 14 points of damage.
So my toughness is 6.
That is going to be at least 1 raise. 14 minus 6 is 8.
8.
So that's a raise, yeah. No, that's 2 raises.
Is that 2 wounds?
Yeah.
How do I get wounded when I'm like...
Because they're swarming, they're fast. And so they're, you know, some of them are clawing and scratching at Haru, and the others, there's tons of them. And they're crashing through, leaping over barricades and through cover. And they're spreading out, and they're trying to
Oh,
get
So
into town.
2 wounds. Holy shit.
Ouch.
You want to soak that?
And a
Oh yeah,
special
I guess I can soak.
note.
Yeah, I'll try soak.
Well, that's
So
right.
what-
You got a failure, right, Macario?
Uh-oh.
There's just something more interesting that...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I think
take
it'll be fun to roll play it
15
out.
damage.
Alright, let's see what I got here. So that's 10 over my toughness.
So that's 2 wounds.
Can I soak it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll attempt to soak.
Oh, that's a
2
crit.
ones. Am I able to try again?
Mm-hmm. We haven't updated yet, so. God, your
Yeah.
dice hate you.
I guess I'll just...
That soaks 1 wound.
yeah. No, it doesn't, does it? Because it's like... Oh, I guess it does.
You're not the negatives yet.
Okay. Yeah, so it's
And
just
then
one.
I'm gonna try soak.
Okay.
I think you're right.
What is this one?
Oh, maybe that was when I spent earlier.
Alright, yeah.
That's one. Bigger?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you suck it.
Well, that's-
Yes.
I can-
Can I get temporary HP on?
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Heartbreak
here we
the game a
go.
little.
It's like she's
A little
kind
bit
of,
of it.
I don't know, ducking and weaving out of the way of the vampire.
So Ross is going to roll. He's at a net +0, thanks to all of your contributions. Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh,
Then he's a zone. It's going to spend 1 immediately. Try and re-roll that.
Yay, Ross.
Alright, that's a simple success. And now the other side, I am giving them a +2 on this roll. Hold on a second. I did Ross's roll wrong. Alright, so he actually got an 8. Or no. He rolled 4. It's 10. He got a 10 because he was at a +6. Ooh. They're going to be rolling a +6 as well, actually. So they got an 11. So they got 1 point more. Let's see here. Each success and causes the other to lose 1 token. Alright, so the vampires are starting to overrun your positions. They're ripping into some of the gunmen, just and more disturbingly, a lot of them are bypassing the bell and getting into the town. You hear screams all around. So now the army needs to make a spirit roll. Use the leader's spirit, which is Ross. Is pretty good at that. Alright, yep. Your forces hold, and so the next combat round comes. What are your tactics now? You're engaged with the vampires.
They're running into the town now.
Yeah, some of them are. And like you see, Malcolm Locke is firing with his gun. What has he got? He's got a Lamont, so he's and you see Sheriff Markson. Not Sheriff Markson. Marshal Markson. He's got 2 peacemakers that he's just occasionally just lands a haymaker on a couple of the zombies, or not zombies, vampires. And of course, you all see.
How important is the conductor?
You see Sheriff Ross draw his big gun and he fans the hammer, and that thing just the roar of his gun drowns out almost all of the noise. And for those who look, you can almost see some of these weird rune-looking things glowing on the barrel of his gun.
I've got a face full of vampire. I don't know if I could see that.
Probably not.
Macario's on combat medic duty, trying to keep people fighting,
Alright.
including himself.
I'm trying to think of tactics because I'm not sure Haru would actually think of the conductor himself. I was just
+1 for everyone, even for the heart, for Ross's instructions.
and making it past Haru to the town. Haru heard the whistle and the vampire. I'm trying to think if Haru would think to attack the conductor, or if what he would think to do.
Mm-hmm.
He might honestly think of just making a fire line that they would have to run through, which I don't know if that would actually do anything to them, so I don't know what to do.
Keep on fighting.
Keep on fighting. That's the best thing I can think of.
Alright, well, I'll give you guys a +1 for continuing to aim for the heart. It's a little difficult to get that shot off. Go ahead and roll your fighting. You're engaged with them.
Nope. 5, 6.
Oh! That's right. That is the Ross's. Yeah, red.
6.
6 total?
Yeah.
Alright, that all is a success. Yeah, +1. So you're in the thick of it. You're getting clawed at a lot by the Nosferatu. Oh, I can't imagine that hurts you much. That's a 5, 6.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they're finding you less than tasty.
Well,
Daisy.
the bursting seemed to work last time, so
Yeah,
she's
it worked
definitely
pretty
going to
well.
keep up with that.
All right.
So, yeah.
More burst. Just slink, stabbing into their chests.
Yeah.
That's a 5.
That's that'll be. Oh, you are in a -4 still to all that. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, that would have been 2
Okay.
for my last
Do you
one.
want to re-roll that then? Add a d6 maybe.
Or just call it an oops because the GM didn't explain the rule.
Yeah, I'll add a d6.
Nice.
Do I re-roll that 6 if I get a 6 on it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so 10 plus
what
my
you just
5,
rolled,
well, plus my 6, so it'll be 16 minus 4, 12.
12. That is actually a success in 2 raises.
Woohoo! Better!
So you don't take, not that it matters, but you don't take any damage.
Woohoo!
And you plus 2. Alright. Now
I'm going to add a d6 to that roll.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, buddy.
That's
So
an 8.
8 plus 5 is 13. 8.
8.
So I got a raise.
That is a raise. So we add plus
9.
2.
13 minus 4 is 9.
You said 5.
Did he?
Yeah, it is minus 5.
Minus
You
5.
lost a
Oh.
unit of troops.
That's right.
So your guys are getting ripped apart. Oh no.
Oh.
That's 11. 15 points of damage.
Ouch. I don't like that. That would be 2 wounds, so let's try to soak this one up. The vigor, huh? I did not soak that. So let's try that again.
Alright.
That was a horrible roll.
It was.
And so not so much better. So
2 wounds.
2 freaking oof.
Ouch.
Everybody will be harrowed.
Yeah.
Alright, Chen Mei, you're able to act.
Okay.
So you master yourself and you... what are you using to fight?
Well, it's been a while since I've looked at the rules for the arcane trappings.
But I got a raise on my
So-
roll on the.
Yeah, you had plus 2.
Can
So I just
you-
blew up the damage on you.
Can you remind me how Bolt works?
So you're going to roll your spellcasting skill.
Okay. And then what does Bolt actually do?
We're not going to worry about what it actually does, as
Okay.
we're
Right.
mass style is a little more abstract.
Okay. Am I taking the negative?
Negative 5, yeah.
Negative
Mhm.
5.
You're so dead.
Well, I got a 6, so that puts me at a 1. So that did not go off.
Fail. Don't add anything. You'll subtract anything. You're overwhelmed by numbers. Those Nosferatu just rush in. You're going to take 12 points of damage.
Okay, so my toughness is a 5. So
That should be just 1 wound.
Yes.
do I have any? I don't think I have any armor.
No.
Okay, so 7 gets through, so that's shaken with a 1.
Yep.
Okay.
Soaking at all?
No.
Alright. Macario, you said you were going to try and heal people?
Yeah.
Alright, so you have... You have 2 choices. You can try and heal your fellow players, or you can try and restore a unit of troops.
I'm feeling my fellow players are the priority here.
Okay. So go ahead and roll healing. So you're using the power.
Yeah.
So, do you have to use PowerPoints for that?
We're not going to worry.
Oh.
You're supposed to keep track of it, but
Yeah.
this is we're doing cinematic, cool action sequences.
So
So
it's quick and dirty.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
My armor power would add to my toughness for
Spend this for a D6.
damage. Would I have to roll that for this?
Yeah.
So how many minus am I at?
5.
Okay, I'm actually failed.
I think you rolled an 8.
I rolled an 8, minus 5 is 3.
Oh.
So I failed.
I thought you had a D6.
I did.
You rolled a 1.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's
He,
that.
he rolled the 6,
And then
rolled the
rolled
1
the
after
2.
that, spent the Benny, with the other one.
Oh, okay.
Brutal.
Actually, I'm at a minus 6 too, so it's actually a 2 instead of a 3. So I'm only wounded.
Yeah, you're trying to help people, but those vampires are fast.
Man.
Oh no.
10.
That's 13,
Awesome.
17 points of damage.
Yeah, he falls to his wounds, I believe, because he's at 1 wound so far.
Well, what's your toughness?
It's only 5.
It's only 5.
3
So
wounds.
that's 17 minus 5.
12.
That's 3 wounds. That would be incapacitation.
Yeah.
Good. Well, we'll worry about the effects of that once we're done. So yeah, you're pulled down by the Nosferatu.
You're gonna be a vampire clown.
That's scary.
Deputy.
No, thank you.
Hearing the screams from the town, so I would want to take a contingent amount of me into the town, start shooting up
Okay.
vampires there.
Go ahead and roll your
To
fight. You're
protect.
shooting. Yep.
I'll just reroll.
Okay. Rerolling.
That's worse. No,
Alright.
I'm gonna save my
Yeah. 12, 17,
20.
20 points of damage.
minus 6 is
And remember, you're saving your bennies. I'm rolling damage.
20 minus 6 is 14.
Mhm.
So that's 3 wounds.
That's 3
So
wounds.
That's an end cap, right?
Alright, do you have a wound right now?
No.
Then 3 wounds is not in cap.
But
You probably
I'm
still
gonna
want
try
to soak.
Yeah. I'm gonna save that one for an end cap. Oh shit.
Soaks 1, so you get 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
Alright, Ross is going to roll and net plus 2. I'm going to re-roll that. I'm going to re-roll that.
What is he rolling?
Knowledge battle.
Oh.
And a d6. The highest I rolled, I believe, was a 3, so which would make it 5. 10. You got a 10. And now they roll. Oh. You all make some headway. I
That's
got
why
a
I
10.
we're all dying.
Well, because you're taking wounds that would have felled regular warriors. You're getting in there. You're helping. And in fact, no, I didn't want to do that.
So let's watch us get all very confused as
I
we
know.
all throw out blacked out. And
Yeah.
like,
Awesome,
hey,
absolutely.
awesome. Yeah, here we go. Throw those down.
Here's my spirit roll for these guys. Oh, good. I got 4. Yep. All right. So they hold, and battle continues for another round. This is the 3rd round of combat.
Jesus.
So you're still aiming for the heart. You've led a group of people to try and
Yeah.
protect the
It's
townspeople.
like the, shootout in
Yep.
the town.
I'll give you a +1 for that as well. Any other tactics that you're leading the troops in?
Well, I think it might be time to pull out the big gun.
Ooh, alright. Haru, we'll start with you.
I'm trying to imagine the battle theater of mind kind of thing.
Mhm. It's scattered, it's chaotic.
Scattered,
Figures,
chaotic.
like I said, their objective seems to be to get into the town.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are like taking a quick swipe at you and then moving on.
I'm gonna follow a group of them into the town as well to try to just stop them from harming the people.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll your fighting. You're getting there. You're slashing if you're do your dice show.
8 minus 5
It's 3.
3.
A d6.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a d6.
All right.
4.
Well, that's a success. You take 3d6, but you add +1 to the roll. 8.
You have plus. Yeah, 8 is 1 over my toughness.
Okay, so we're not checking results because these are longer than just simple 6-second rounds.
Yeah.
All right, Daisy.
Alright, seeing how, like, I'm looking around, things don't look too good. Taking out that train.
You guys are getting. You're making a little bit of headway. But,
this went south fast. Yeah, so I'm gonna take that Ghost Rock satchel thing and like just
Lob it
in
the
there.
engine.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make that a throwing roll.
Okay.
So you're
Remember
basically-
scatter diagrams because I'm gonna miss.
Okay.
I'm at -7 to this roll.
Holy shit.
Over at -5 and I have 2 wounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a -2.
-2. Want to add a d6 to that?
No.
No. What?
Scatter diagram. It's got to get close enough. That's where I can blow up and still take care of the train. It's a big train. The scatter diagram can't make it go that far.
No, it can't. So, what happens is that you get caught in the explosion.
Well, so
That was a failure, right?
yeah, -2, -2.
Negative
net.
It was a pretty simple thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all gonna be dead.
-7 to the roll. What do you do?
So I'm going to give you the +1 to the battle roll because it was an explosion. But you're going to take the 46 damage.
Roll low, roll low.
Yeah, it did.
Well,
7.
It's 7.
I'm shaking.
You're shaking. So yeah, you throw the satchel charge. You turn to run, and it
Like
goes
launches
off,
you-
just launches you forward, and you
Nice.
crash into some debris of the station.
That actually went kind of.
You,
Okay, there, right? It was like, oh shit. Daisy's
Yeah.
gonna eat it now.
you roll over, your duster or whatever you're wearing is a little bit on fire, and you see like this skull-shaped explosion plume up into the air. And the train isn't destroyed, but it's damaged. And you see like part of the sleeper train's been busted open, and you almost wish they hadn't been because they're just seeping with blood and nastiness inside, the remains of people. Chen Mei.
I'm gonna roll to unshake. So that goes against my spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait, we haven't been.
I'm still shaking.
We haven't been rolling.
No, you don't need to roll on shape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just.
We were glossing over that.
Okay.
'Cause
So
it's-
I'm unshaken?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little longer than regular 6-second rounds, so we're kind of like
Oh, yeah.
we're oh shit, shake it. Right, no,
Yeah.
keep fighting.
Okay. I'm gonna attempt to bolt again.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your magic.
Net -5.
Actually, it's down to -3. I'm sorry.
3. I do have a wound, so -4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm at an 8. 9 minus 4 is 5.
All right, that's a success. We're gonna take d6. You have +1. So you're blasting. Oh my
Oh
god.
god damn, you're killing us all.
You're blasting through your magic, but you take 10, 15, 16 points of damage.
So that's 4 more wounds. Oh no, I'm not shaken. So 3 wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So that puts me at 4 wounds.
So you're in
Yeah.
gap.
You have the bennies to soak with if you want. You could do that.
If I use the red Benny, you get another Benny.
Not if you spend it just to soak.
I'm gonna spend it just to soak.
All right.
Okay. So that leaves me at 4 wounds, but I'm standing upright.
No, you need to roll your vigor.
Oh, okay.
Reroll that
4, 7.
Your vigor should be d6.
Oh. You're right. I'm getting tired then. 5.
Okay. That's the same result either way. So
Mhm.
you soak 1 wound. So you're at
3.
3.
Okay.
You had 1 there. You are incapacitated, so deputy.
Oh wait, kind of like narrate a little bit.
Sure.
So I kind of picture Rachel. She's like looking around the town, seeing these townsfolk fall into the vampires running everywhere, and
You're
she's
like
just
pulling
gonna,
people out of their houses.
yeah, and she's just gonna like take this breath, and then to inspire the men that she grabbed, like to go out with her into town, she's gonna step out from cover and just like walk down the street, like long black dust are flowing behind her, yelling at women in town, so get behind me, and just shooting her guns down the street, hitting
Nice.
vampires.
Alright, roll me a shoot and roll.
9
minus 3.
3.
So it's going to be 6. That'll be a success. So yeah, plus 1 to Ross's roll.
I'm going to take some serious damage now. Yep.
Yep. That's 12. 16.
And would you recommend saving this for an end cap roll?
Probably not,
I'll
since
try.
you have hard to kill.
Yeah, that's true. I'll try to soak it.
Unless you roll snake eyes. She got it back.
Drop that dice. Shoot. That's the one on my finger.
Okay.
That
just means you're taking the full ones.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, I might just drop it.
So
So
you're
yeah.
incapped?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. You get behind me and you're fighting these things off and you're getting people to safety, but they're clawing at you, they're ripping at you.
She's just got this like smile on her face as she goes down, like it's where she's meant to be.
Yeah. Alright, Macario, why don't you roll the D4, D6 for Ross?
Okay. He got a 6.
Alright.
8 total minus whatever penalties he has.
Actually, it's 8 plus 6.
14. 14.
So I got an 8. That still gives you a raise. No, fuck.
Just keep doing it, please.
So, what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, they've taken some substantial casualties, and that train has been damaged. And so, you hear the whistle blow again. There's this horrid. And the Nosferatu kind of shift, and they start rushing back towards the train. Some of them are dragging victims behind them. People still screaming, "Help! Help! No!" So we're going to do one more round of combat, and then the night train will depart the station. So, Ross still standing, you fallen, so
Yeah.
plus 1. You still standing?
Yeah, I am.
All right. What are you doing?
I'm noticing the vampires are going back towards the train after hearing a whistle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm heading back to the train. I'm going to try to get to the conductor.
All right. Roll a fighting check.
5,
And you're only at -1.
so 4.
4? All right. You're going to take 6 damage. I don't think it does anything to you.
No, I've got 7 toughness.
Because Harper's a
Add
badass.
+1.
Actually,
Yeah.
8 with both my.
You're fighting
No,
your
it's
way.
parrying, not
You're
toughness.
almost to the
Yeah.
conductor's car or the cab. Without a raise, I'm going to say you don't quite make it that far.
Yeah.
You're killing these things, but you
I'm
see,
definitely locking eyes as I'm stabbing and heading that direction.
and you see him, and he's not really wearing a conductor's uniform. He just looks like a regular person until he turns and locks eyes with you, and his skin is sallow and pale. His eyes are milky white. His mouth has been stitched shut, sewn shut, and he just pulls on that whistle again.
Letting out a bellow of take out the conductor, kill the train.
Daisy, pick yourself up. You dust yourself off. You're
Yeah.
Haru shouting something.
Do I hear what he says?
You're hard. Are you hard of hearing?
No.
No. Who's hard of hearing? Is that a completely different game? That is a
That
completely
might be
different game.
someone in Deadlands.
You're just a
Dave's
heavy
character.
sleeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Dave's character in Deadlands Hell on Earth.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
out the gun doctor! Kill the train!
Or gun doctor.
The gun doctor.
That's a bad doctor.
Yeah, so after doing that, I'm
Like
gonna
spell as a train.
You're
burst
sick?
at the train
Okay.
Oh my
with a
god.
-7.
Maya from Borderlands 2.
That's -3 from your wounds?
-5 for the whatever.
You're at -1 right now.
It's changed.
What do you mean?
So the
Oh.
penalty is based on the difference between your forces. And you roll
Okay, so
from
I'm
there.
at -3. I might have done better at that last roll. Maybe different. I don't know. Maybe not.
Ooh.
I did not do better with that roll. I only have 1 penny left, so I don't know if I want to spend that.
Rolling 46.
That's why I'm not going to spend that.
Alright. 10,
Yeah.
13, 16.
Yeah, 16. Oh god.
22.
26. So that's 20. That's 5 wounds. This is safe for my in capital.
Alright. So we got 3 people in cap. Chen Mei. Are you in capped?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't do anything this round.
Haru's the last
Oh
one.
my god.
He's already gone.
Go ahead and roll
I've
for
already died
Ross. You
once.
get +2.
What do I roll?
D4, D6.
So we actually blew up both of them.
Sweet.
So that is a 9 plus 2, 11.
11. That is a success and a raise. So yeah, you're able. I remember it this time. You're able to, especially with the help of the man known as Kane, kill a lot of these Nosferatus that go rushing back to the train. But the survivors get on there, and basically they actually managed to save the people that were getting dragged back. And so the surviving vampires return with no prisoners to the train, and it goes screeching out of the station, sparks flying from the damaged parts of it, and it vanishes into the night.
Haru's standing.
My jaw's literally shaking out of frustration.
Yeah.
And all your friends are dead.
The town is filled with
Haru's standing there looking around going, where did?
Yeah.
where'd everybody go? Deputy, you're just coming to. You can see Malcolm Locke standing over you and reaches down. You alright there, Deputy?
She's tore up a little bit, think, but I'll live.
Alright, good. Here, let me help you. Let's get you up to your horse, Deputy.
She'll clasp me on that wrist grab thing.
Yeah.
What they call that. Stagger on over with his help to her horse. Because she's still wounded, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, let me help you bandage that up. And he pulls out some gauze. Like, he gets you over to his horse, which is nearby.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another horse as well. You don't recognize the horse, but
Oh,
it's not Oakley.
right.
He bandages you up a little bit, just to keep you from bleeding out.
Yeah, she's probably just really disoriented because bowel wounds and loss of consciousness.
So you're leaning against the horse, trying to catch your breath when you hear the hammer of a gun cocked back, and Malcolm Locke says, "Sorry about this, Deputy." Pulls the trigger.
What?
Shall we pick up next time?
Well.
Do that.
What?
It's just a ghost bullet or whatever, right? Yeah. That's what it is.
I was like, no, I'm not
everybody's
gonna
gonna be home
distress
hard.
all the NPCs because he hasn't done anything to show that. Oh man.
Well, thank you, listeners, for tuning in to our season finale, and I do hope that little cliffhanger will keep you interested in hearing season 2 when it returns. I can't make any promises of how long our little hiatus will be, but hopefully it will be brief, and we'll catch you all in hopefully a few weeks. Season 2 of Valley of Haru Famine.
Seriously.
There isn't enough meat.